The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
Good morning. This is the Wire. I'm Lea Obaga. ODM will not expel anyone from the party, its leader Oburu Oginga said as he held his first mega rally in Nairobi since Raila Odinga's death. It comes 2 days after the CIS senator chaired the ODM Central Committee meeting in Kilifi County, where they resolved to seek views from members on the future of the party. Speaking at Kamkunji grounds in Kibra, Oburu emphasized the party's resolve to establish a formal pre-election coalition pact with other parties, including President William Ruto's UDA.
Mtu akitaka kutoka kwa chama aondoke mwenyewe, anaondoke peke yake. Lakini sisi kama ODM, sisi tunataka tuimarishe chama yetu na tutaanza mazungumzo na vyama vingine, lakini tukiwa pamoja ndio tutakuwa na nguvu na negotiate na hawa from a point of strength.
And moving on is that at the same time, the ODM National Chairperson Gladys Wanga emphasized the need for President Ruto to implement the 10-point agenda signed with the late Raila. 7 parties within the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance are pushing for the swift removal of National Assembly Minority Leader Junet Mohammed. The parties say Junet has undermined opposition unity by criticizing former President Uhuru Kenyatta, whom they describe as a leader who served the country with dignity and promoted national cohesion. They further accused Junet of neglecting opposition duties to advance the interests of the Kenya Kwanza administration. Here's National Liberation Party leader Augustine Muli.
The former president served this nation with dignity, protecting Kenya's territorial integrity, upholding national cohesion, and shepherding a peaceful transition of power. Any attempt to diminish this record is both dishonest and an affront to the millions of Kenyans who lived through that stewardship. In light of these developments, we as Azimio parties hereby demand the immediate retirement of Honorable Junet Mohammed from all Azimio leadership positions.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union Nairobi branch has maintained that the doctors' strike is still ongoing. Speaking at Magathi Hospital, the doctors accused the Nairobi County government of sidelining their grievances, including delayed salaries and overdue promotions. According to them, these delays have disrupted their lives and those of their families. Led by KMPDU Magathi Hospital branch chairperson Dr. Melindi Chao, the doctors accused the county of backtracking on previously agreed return to work negotiations.
There are no promotions. Now there are delayed salaries. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I can tell you, Nairobians, the leadership at the county level does not care for you.
As we speak now, even the clinical officers are on strike. The other cadres are actually joining tomorrow, telling you that how health is not working in Nairobi. So all we are saying that wananchi wa Nairobi, mjue hakuna madaktari hospitali. Na ukienda hospitali mwenye anakutibu ni wale wenye mnaitanga madaktari, lakini si madaktari. So please, we kindly request you to seek medical care somewhere else in these other facilities and around the county. Because for sure, it's going to get worse.
Kenyan motorists will pay slightly less at the pump over the next 30 days following a modest reduction in the maximum retail prices of super petrol, diesel and kerosene. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has said that the new rates will take effect from today and remain valid until the 14th of next month. During this period, the maximum pump prices for super petrol, diesel and kerosene will decrease by 2 shillings, 1 shilling and 1 shilling per litre respectively. In Nairobi, super petrol will retail at 182.52 per litre, diesel at 170.47 and kerosene at 153.78. That's the News Wire. I'm Lea Obaga.
102.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
We look at the utterances of leaders who are aligned to broad-based, who are initially in ODM. We thought they stand for something. Now they've been exposed.
Because we are a third world country, we are poor. And not because we don't have resources, but we have been robbed senseless.
Look at the wasteful expenditure. Look at how large government lives. And we've said this is something that can be controlled. It happens in many other countries.
Internally, we used to stand and tell him, boss, hii kitu ni mbaya. And you'd say, now he doesn't, let me tell you, you saw the other parliamentary group meeting. People went there, sat, listened, looked at him. There was no plenary, left.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation. The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
You have land, Dennis.
Yeah.
Okay, your own land. You use your own money to build it, and then you sell it to yourself.
But we don't want foreign troops on Kenyan soil.
But surely it goes a little bit deeper. This is it.
If you find a tree is withering, then you call the person who is managing that tree. Come around.
Yeah,
Why? Tell me what is
first of all, what's the problem?
Yes, what is the problem there?
How do we expect ourselves to move forward as a country?
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation. The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
He is himself actually has admitted that he bribed members of parliament.
He admitted that he bribed members of parliament?
Well, when he said
the government.
Yeah, when he said that he gave the 10 million was for what?
We're always quick to point faults in somebody else before you look at your own faults as a person.
If it was Kanu's day, hii amuka naye leo ungekuwa umeenda mbali sana hii. So we must celebrate you.
There are 600 million people now globally estimated to be living with diabetes in the world. So it is a major health problem. It's the largest single disease rising pandemic that we're dealing with right now.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation. The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
Presidency is fairly interesting in the sense that it will actually take us to a new consciousness.
Swali zile watu hawaulizi na swali muuliza na shangala ni aje kwani huku kunaendaje?
30 billion shillings annually on travel alone in public service.
A Kenyan can even demonstrate every single day of his life that Ruto must go. That is the only message of his demonstration. That is his right.
That bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and subverts the cause of those who are in the right.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
SRC's mandate is constitutional. It's not an advice. It's actually something we must do.
Must do.
Like now he abandoned, of course, the narrative of Wheelbarrow, Mutu wa Mjengo, Mama Mboga, and all those, that rosy narrative.
Your expenditure is 3.3 trillion and you're collecting only 2.5. Out of that 2.5, you're spending 1.8 trillion to service loans and so forth.
That the CDF kit, it's itself a symptom of corruption.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
If we just gloss over issues and hope that time heals, then we might find that in generations to come, we might be back at the same situation. And the whole thing is born of stolen elections.
Spice.
When it comes to the decisions you make, you must be independent. There's no way you can allow one institution to dictate to you how you're going to conduct your operations, how you're going to decide cases. It's a no.
When you weaken the institution to the point where they cannot take action, then you realize that politicians have to come up and now start dealing with the issues.
That conversation has to die. Our politicians do not like the hard stuff. We must insist on the path of doing things right, whether popular or unpopular.
Money changes hands. That is a fact. If you have political goodwill at the highest top, like in Rwanda, then corruption will be an issue of the past. If you don't have political goodwill at the top, we will pass laws, we will amend laws, we will continue passing laws and re-amending laws, and nothing will happen.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Good morning, and I love your show.
Thank you.
Having come from a Kikuyu radio background, I migrated to Spice because of the content.
I was born in a slum, but somehow I got a break in life. So sometimes when you see the sweating coming out because of the passion and whatever it is, behind the noise, there are people. And we share the same umbilical cord. It shouldn't be like that.
I am so disappointed. We used to tell Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that he's doing politics of conmanship. And even President Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali hii ndio iko na conmanship ya hali ya juu. You cannot promise people that you reduce tax, then you double.
In politics, there is the issue of trust. For you to turn around and then stab the same people who gave you that trust, there is no other level of dishonesty. Imabo, utaona dunia tu.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
One of the things that are ailing our country is negative ethnicity. You find you as a state officer, instead of thinking as a Kenyan, you think like a tribal person.
Let me tell you something. The biggest problem we have had in this country is a leadership deficit. There is nothing that you are going to do in the process of change if you are not a risk taker. So you really have to pursue your vision to a logical conclusion and even be ready to step on people's toes.
When it comes to the economy, you can run away with it. They say statistics are like bikinis. They reveal a lot, but they conceal the vitals. And so government people would throw statistics at you and tell you they're revealing a lot of information to you, but it's really concealing the real vitals.
We need to get out of that, because when we want to grow our democracy, one basic thing that really requires to be understood by the political class, by all of us, is institutions are critical.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
One of the things that are ailing our country is negative ethnicity. You find you as a state officer, instead of thinking as a Kenyan, you think like a tribal person.
Let me tell you something. The biggest problem we have had in this country is a leadership deficit. There is nothing that you are going to do in the process of change if you are not a risk taker. So you really have to pursue your vision to a logical conclusion and even be ready to step on people's toes.
When it comes to the economy, you can run away with it. They say statistics are like bikinis. They reveal a lot, but they conceal the vitals. And so government people would throw statistics at you and tell you they're revealing a lot of information to you, but it's really concealing the real vitals.
We need to get out of that, because when we want to grow our democracy, one basic thing that really requires to be understood by the political class, by all of us, is institutions are critical.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Good morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, it's a good morning, I'm telling you.
It is a good morning.
Ngoja kwanza, hebu sema tena.
It is a good morning.
Say it again.
Hey?
Hey, Bas.
It is a good morning.
Very, very good. How are you?
Salama.
I have M&Ms. I have a yellow one.
M&Ms.
M&Ms. Unataka?
Quick one.
Usijanta kupe.
In the family of M&Ms, which one is the rarest color?
Isn't it purple?
Brown.
It's brown. It's brown that's the rarest color?
Yeah.
Here with my M&Ms, I have 3 yellow, 2 blue, 4 brown, like that. And then some have been broken.
Okay. M&Ms. See Eminem, guys.
See Eminem. Emu.
And
Emu.
Yeah.
Hapo ndo tuko leo asubuhi. Mimi, I am fine.
Me too.
First of all, my heart is bleeding. Nigeria lost to Egypt. Not to Egypt, to Morocco. not on anything but on penalties. 4-2 penalties. Those are the ones that kept me up in the night after coming from reading the news. And then I'm sad, but I've decided that I will be happy. Nothing today will steal
Don't
my
worry,
joy.
we have Senegal. Senegal, my boys.
So Senegal, go for us, because
Yes.
Senegal Mo Salah didn't see this one coming. Senegal netted that late one. Mane, thank you very much.
Yes.
Mane. So now we live vicariously
I
through Mane and the boys.
Mane and the boys.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Maina. Oh, Maina is not
Aseto.
here. Aseto. Today you will be my energy because we need to connect the dots.
Don't worry.
Sindo?
There's a reason why they call me firebrand journalist.
Bas.
not politician.
Ooh.
I am here.
Thank you, please. Guess who else is here? They wanted to come for her.
I know.
The enemies were sent in groundnut shell. When they reached, they were told, the person you came to find, she's not here.
Mteja wa nambari hapatikani.
Christine, we're glad to see you walking upright. Apparently, Christine was fainting here another day. Nobody knew. But she's alive and she's well.
She's kicking.
She's kicking well. She's kicking something. She's not kicking rocks.
No.
In this, or the bucket in this case. But she's doing okay.
And guess what's different? Sijaona kofia.
Bas. It's a new year time. Even the butterfly before was caterpillar, Abi?
Software upgrade.
Caterpillar, butterfly. Yeah. That's how it normally goes. I'm so confused this morning. Then Awuor is here. Sometime as I was walking through the halls in the night yesterday, I saw Awuor. I said, what? Then I came here very early in the morning and I saw, Awuor, do you live here?
By there, do you?
Do you sleep here?
I've seen her with blankets and duvets. Am I lying?
Something.
Exactly.
Your address is SG.
SGPLC.
I have to have a conversation with you later. Then Frank is also here.
Yeah,
then Rio.
Doctor.
Yeah, Frank is your doctor.
Yeah.
That's a long story behind that. But Frank is up, gives doctor services in the morning. And then Rio and I were singing a song. Telling you so many things have happened in this very short time.
True.
And I'm on a buzz this morning. Lazima tuongee.
Muhimu.
Hapo ndio tuko leo
The only thing we must do.
Wait. So, it's Thursday. It's the 15th of January.
Uganda is in the polls.
Uganda has gone to the polls. Meanwhile, they have off the lights.
Yes.
They have off the Michael, his name is what? Bill Gates internet. They have switched it off.
Oh yeah. Mister.
Then they even removed, they told MultiChoice to remove KTN from the broadcast. Because these people are causing trouble in Uganda. So they're going to the polls.
Is Larry there?
Yes, he is. He is. So
under tight security, or he's just doing his business?
Well, of course, he's got to have his security, that's for sure. But likely that he'll pass as much information out as possible. But, it's going to be interesting to see what happens through the day as Ugandans go to the polls. I don't know how we will see, but, we can try.
In one way or the other, we'll get the info.
Maybe those people that they were sent to look for Christine, we can also send them to see how they can give us information.
Baba, please do your thing.
Donge. All right. Everybody, good morning. At 19 minutes after 6 o'clock, I've got the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay, Papa. Where? That's how it's going to be Leo today. Kaende, because tukiwacha 2 seconds of silence.
Amen. Because we know where we both are.
Sindio, it's just important to say the truth.
Yes.
The truth?
The truth.
Thank you.
It shall set us free.
Exactly. Otherwise.
Wait, that's it. Okay.
Apana, wait. Bas, we tell people what we'll talk about today. Okay, so on the show this morning, just in case you're wondering, this is The Situation Room. It's Kenya's biggest conversation on this Thursday, the 15th of January. And lining it up for you of conversations that we will have. How about we put a little fire under things from 7 o'clock this morning and ask pertinent questions. Guys, are you okay with the way things are? Because it would appear that you are. It's like a baby. If a baby is hungry, wet or irritated, the baby will cry until you do something about it.
Yep.
Sasa nyinyi, are you seeing like everything is okay? Or we're just kind of mumbling in the corners? We throw something on X every now and then. We grumble in the marketplace when things are too expensive. We tell our fathers, brothers, mothers, wives, and sisters that we are not okay. But when it comes to an opportunity to do something about it, are we actually
you just
doing?
have to say is sini life.
Or a bebas.
Amani God.
Or we say otherwise.
Is that all you have to say?
We're going to talk about that with you guys at 7 o'clock today. Guys, are you okay? Is everything okay? You look at the politics of the day, you look at the way the country is, you look at the way the region is, you look at the way the world is. Are you okay? Are we okay with the things that we see? Because if we are not, would imagine that we'd be saying something about it.
Or would be doing something.
Or doing something about it. That's the question that we're asking. Those 3 letters we'll ask at 7. Are you okay? Is okay one word? It can be.
Just do O and K.
Okay. Okay. It's one word. Yikes. And so it gives us an opportunity to see as things are going on, of course, through the region, and we'll be able to do a commentary on that as we go ahead. Justin Bidan Muturi is a former Speaker of the National Assembly. He's also a former CS. He's also a former Attorney General. All of these things this one man did. We're going to be looking at a number of things. Today, he puts on the hat of education inequality, and we're going to be talking about policy failure or deliberate design. He sat in very strategic positions whereby you would see the blueprint of the country come to life. So maybe he can come and tell us, okay, guys, those guys inside there, what are they thinking? So JB Muturi will talk with us at 8 o'clock. You want to be here for that conversation. We're going to end things at 9 with Dr. Harun Isaac Hassan, who is a leadership and governance expert. Power, politics, and blackouts. We're going to take a look into Uganda. Why would you switch off the lights? Why would you switch off the internet? You don't want interference? Who would interfere with a process
what
like
are you
that?
hiding is the question. What don't you want the world to know?
When you switch off the lights, you want to do bad manners.
Exactly.
Abi? Okay. So we'll be talking with him at 9 o'clock. And those are the conversations that we'll have with you today. Our live streams are up on YouTube, Facebook, and on X. Our audience on KTN is here ready to go. And we're getting into these conversations together. So I'm going to remind you, 7, we'll ask, are you okay? 8 o'clock, we'll take a look with JB Muturi into several policy issues around the country. We'll focus a little bit on education. And then at 9 o'clock, we'll look into the region. We'll talk politics, we'll talk power, and we will talk blackouts. All of this is happening, and we'll do that with you today. Karibuni Sana. These guys called Algeria, this country called Algeria, have been giving us proverbs this week.
Yes.
Yes.
But even as we talk about Algeria and the proverbs that we've been getting, some of the important things to just note about Algeria is the fact that you look at the economy of the country and it's huge on oil. But what are they doing about oil? It is going back to the people because petroleum products are cheaper in the country than water. And why is that? Because getting water in Algeria is much more difficult than getting what? Than getting oil. You know, you want to domesticate the large-eared fennec fox, that is up to you, but shauri yako itakukula too. You know, but in life, as we keep saying. But the proverb that we get from the people of Algeria this morning, the only thing left in the valley are its stones.
The only
thing left in the valley are its stones.
Oh. Okay.
Kenda kwa valley. After everything else is gone, climate change and everything, animals hunted and killed, the only thing that remains are the stones.
So I've got to think. My critical mind wants me to say what causes a valley in the first place. That a valley is a phenomenon when things have happened. So it used to be level, or it used to be a hill or mountain or something, whatever. And something left it in order for it to be this dip. So there was vegetation, there were trees, there was soil, there was grass, there was animals, all these other things. But then by the time it becomes a valley, most of that stuff is gone. But I would see that those stones are left. And then you say, okay, there's very little left. However, I would see it as, so even in the valley, even in the valley, you still have something that you could use to launch yourself to the top of it. Abby?
Yes. So I take that to translate it in the sense that in life there are many things that you're asked to do, but if you have dignity, respect, and love, you could be beat down to a pulp, to a point where you have nothing left. But if you have that dignity and it's the only thing remaining, nobody can take that away from you. If you are a truthful person, no one can take that away from you.
Basement not get ground floor. Abby, you're already in the valley.
In the valley.
The only way out
is up.
So even around you, the stones that you have is something that can get you out.
Yes. Cool. Many would say the only thing you have left is hope.
It's true.
You can't afford to lose hope.
It's true. It's very true. Okay.
Yes.
So, wacha tusalimia watu.
Salimia watu.
Let's greet people this morning.
Agent after gazette. Sijui nimeweka wapi gazette. Ama sikubeba.
Wewe mimi nilikuachia gazeti kwa meza. You guys, have you heard my Kiswahili? Now that I've said it, I can't speak anymore. Don't ask me. The words have disappeared.
Yes.
I left the newspapers for you. You just walked inside like a goat leaving the house in the morning.
I'm telling you, this morning we need to shout and talk.
Awuor,
but I'll see if I can.
Please, can you help this young gentleman? Because he seems to have left the things that I gave him on the table earlier. Ama?
Pole.
Silo. Thank you very much. Even Joylene is here. So Joylene amesema, watamletea.
Asante.
Okay. Hey, our live streams are up, guys, and we can see you in the room this morning. There is a reason for this. Good morning from Mombasa. Robert Mbogo, good morning. Don Sabo is also here. Good morning, Ndu. Good morning, Don. Kindly ask Aseto, which type of ODM orphans were at Kamkunji Kibra grounds yesterday? I don't know that there are different kinds, but Aseto must know.
Let's say the senior.
The senior orphans?
The senior orphans.
Okay. All right.
See, could have senior orphans and junior orphans. I saw one of the juniors yesterday speaking. Yeah. Certain show at night.
Oh, somewhere else inside the thing. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, calling out the senior
orphans.
Yeah, to just let the young ones, the young orphans, to take over. Yeah, for the future of the party.
It's good.
It's good.
It's very good.
It's good. This discourse. It's good.
It's very good, though. Kiaria Peter says, good morning. The river rewards the paddler, not the one who watches from the bank. Yeah, man. If you don't have the kahunas to get into the water, don't be making noise. Get inside. Let's see if you can handle this thing. Otherwise, those of you who stand by the banks, this river is not going to do what? It's not going to reward you. Sawa, you can be on the banks waving at people. Get inside the thing. That forms part of our conversation at 7 o'clock today. Peter Kiaria, thank you very much. Michael Olande, bonjour à tu, bonjour à toi. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien.
Very good. Come, okay, let me not. I will not look for trouble this morning. It's not. I was about to ask a question, but I realized that the circumstances. Is it circumstance? No, the results. The results of the question asking can bring war, and I am a lover of peace. I'm a pacifist by nature. I'm a lover of peace. No, please. I told you I'm a lover of what?
Peace.
Rahim Sula Omar says, good morning from Preston in the UK. I want to wish the Ugandan people safe elections. Hope we don't lose lives, and I feel bad for the businesses demolished in Nairobi yesterday. My friend.
You guy.
Wait.
You guy.
That road has a very difficult name.
That one.
Road. As of 4 p.m., from what I understand, people were still cutting away people's business things. Motorcycles had parked there to take things away. Vehicles had been destroyed. It was a grotesque
sight.
Yes, it was. It was terrible.
Crazy.
No.
I also passed by South B yesterday, and just behind, next to the mosque, right? There is that, I think it's Fortanyayo Mukuru there. It's been demolished. Down next to my hospital. What's happening?
The people who are waiting like hyena. Okay, I have many stories this morning. So I had the opportunity recently to see how hyenas and vultures operate. You see the way they wait. Vultures are flying, pop, pop, they hop. That's how those guys were waiting yesterday to get the remains of human beings. Wadao. It was crazy.
But what happened to the promise? We will not operate like this. We will not demolish people's houses. We'll have a conversation.
Promise ni wewe.
Oi, ni mimi. Promise I said. Yeah, it's okay.
Dennis, promise I said. Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Sasedi Wadao, how easy can one speak in tongues? Hashabalabala. Even that's like that. So you just open your mouth.
Provided.
Endelea kuongea sahi or Awuor atakuwa. Then Joylene will join. In fact, Frank can even speak in
Yeah. And then in there you just drop a bonjour. Because it's really important for the tongues to be interpreted, so just drop something bonjour. Yeah, I had them say bonjour.
You're a very silly man. Thunder will fire you.
Thunder don't come.
So there's your answer, Desmond, and a very good morning to you. Stanley Ngasha says, great day, Team TSR. Wishing my 2 grade 10 boys smooth transition. Kabisa. Saskia kugonjeka Nairobi is a crime. Don't be sick here.
Hey, kugonjeka Kenya. Ask me.
Don't be sick. Start drinking things now and not the ones you're thinking about. Peter Caricho says, says, good morning. Happy New Year to you all. Okay. You're back. It's okay. Today's the 15th. No problem. Still be wishing Happy New Year. Yes. Tibbs Muge says, good morning, Spice FM. Good morning to you. Jennifer Etenyi says, good morning, my favorite person. Seto. Seto. Why do I feel you are my neighbor? My name, by the way, is Ezio Kubundu.
The feeling is
truth. Truth is life. Ezio Kubundu. Ndu is the last 3 letters. In my presence, you must speak truth. Oseto.
Yes. Yes.
Oseto.
Yes.
Do you live next to Jennifer now that you share birthday?
The feeling is mutual. Jennifer, I also feel like you're neighbors.
I can see you guys from far. Who else is here this morning? Everybody, good morning, good morning. Good morning, tuning in from Tudor is Dr. Venvic. Joseph Okondo says good morning, tuning in from Tudor as well. Good morning, Dennis and Ndu. Kenya Homes, please call out people importing sugar and repackaged here. Let's stop killing our farmers. Call them out before farmers start the cry. It affects every Kenyan. Kabisa. Let's jambalaya is what we're going to do at 7 o'clock. What are these issues that we're seeing that are not being discussed? We are going to talk about it today. Do you think it's being hidden? Tell us what's going on. We ask, are you okay? Where are the issues? Let this be the place that we talk about them. Yes?
Short, funguka.
Kabisa.
Open up.
Okay.
So. Expand.
Leo, good morning. Princess, good morning. Wamatangi is being fought because he refused to be part and parcel of... to part with some parcel of land and build affordable housing. Corrupt or not, this is just vengeance on steroids. It's a story. There's a backstory. Wow. Okay. Yakundi Emmanuel says, good morning, Spice. We really pray for Uganda. How is switching off the internet related to securing insecurity? And Kenya, how do you destroy parked vehicles like what we saw yesterday? Surely. Bad manners. Jeffrey Nichols says, good morning. Good morning, guys, says Eric Awuor. Good morning to you too. Joseph Mahinda says, good morning. And did you like Skittles? I like Skittles. The ones in the green packet, not the red. I have to be very specific about that. Mwambie Dennis Ameze Brufen.
I am not feeling pain.
Is it not in
Are you in pain?
Why Brufen?
Desmond, are you in pain?
Why?
Ameze Brufen.
Oh, there's something. It's something in the Mtandao. This Brufen thing.
I don't know what
there is a trend.
I just know Brufen is for
pain. And let's just leave it there.
Yeah, let's just leave it there.
We don't even want to wade into those waters. Christina, good morning. Ndu, my kids are back. Very happy. My firstborn reported her grandma to the police. She told the police that they're supposed to be in school. I hope their grandma won't hate them. She's just 15. Let me tell you, anybody who wants to rough it up with a child at 15 has a lot of questions to answer about who they are. And that the child is being denied going to school and you're the cause of it. She shouldn't hate her. If she does, that's her problem and not a 15-year-old child's problem.
And I think, Christina, you're raising very beautiful children. If they can stand up for themselves,
well
you're
done.
doing something right.
Good job, my sister, because this is what we need. Rahimtullah Omar, Ndu, what have you eaten for breakfast? You have a lot of energy. Let me tell you today, Rahimtullah, I popped the vein and threw the thing in direct because our thighs ingekuwa story ingine.
Telling you gotta speak in tongues the whole morning.
Yes. D Combo says, good morning, lovely ones. Christine, tell village people they won't win over your life in Jesus' name. Amen. Linda Gola, love your energy. Good morning, my sister. How are you? We are moving. Good morning, Patriots. Good morning, Duke. Duke, where have you been? Ndu, that bubbliness of yours, hapana ni kama denial. Denial ya nini? No. I'm living my best life. at least for the next 3 minutes. Isaiah says, good morning, Team Spice. Good morning to you. Jack Bryan is tuned in this morning as well. Basically, what makes a big conversation, Ndu and Dennis Kabisa. Thomas Omosa, we see you. Good morning. Cliff Sunday saying, just wondering, when will politicians start talking about results they delivered and not about promises? Good question. Emily, we also see you. Good morning to you. Happy New Year, guys, and good to see you, says Thomas. Karibu Sana, thank you for being here. Bernard says, hi, big team. Good morning to you. Here, waiting to hear the line of conversations. Why haven't you invited Ndindi Nyoro? How do you know we've not invited him? We've invited him. You know, when you give an invitation, somebody has to come, then you know. Sindio, we are waiting. Don't worry. Jack Bryan is also tuned in this morning. Happy to hear your post-mortem of the ODM meeting yesterday. We'll talk about that just a little bit. Good morning, Intu and Dennis. Happy New Year to you both, says Rose Grace. How are you, Rose? Good to hear you. Where are you? Are you in Tamu? Where am I? Menera? Where are you? Good morning, TSR family. Ndu and your bubbly self and the energy. Rub some off on me today. Come, Sheila. Come. We need to dissect yesterday's ODA meeting. We will do that. Kenya Sihami, says Andrew Chira. Yani ODM in coalition talks Nakasongo. So Yani democracy can be just swallowed. Oh, they've decided that the A in your name is silent.
It's okay.
Oseto. Yeah. Okay.
We also have a driver here called Mose who calls me Oseto.
Oh, so it's okay.
He comes from the hills of Kisii, so yeah.
Ooh, okay, there's an O in everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was A. Anyway,
it's okay.
Good morning, Untu. Nyandara is getting you nice and clear. Kabisa. Brufen is a Mamito skit. Okay, happened to Tuko. Okay. You and me both, Untu. Crazy Sour Skittles are at thebomb.com, Sheila, aren't they? Good morning, Spice. Tuned in from Rwaka. And this is Daniel Munjama. Good morning to everybody. Karibuni Sana. We're getting into it this morning. Thank you for always tuning in as you do. Waking up in Kenya, going to sleep in different parts of the country, or being a few hours behind us or ahead of us here. Asante Sana. And as we get into conversations tomorrow, my M&Ms and I and Oseto, we greet you this morning.
Yes, in the name of the Lord.
Amina.
Amin.
As for those tongues, yeah. Let's look into the headlines. On the front page of Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard, turbulence at KQ, and there are pictures of all the men, all the KQ men in terms of the CEOs. Titus Naikuni, CEO from 2003, Sebastian Mikos, CEO from 2017, Alan Kilavuka, CEO from 2020, and now Captain George Kamal, acting CEO from December 2025. The grounded fleet crippling the national carrier is not misfortune but brazen looting. Allah. Insiders confess that a ruthless syndicate within Kenya Airways is stripping parts from aircrafts on the tarmac, selling them to the airline as new in a shameless cycle of theft. I don't think you got that.
Do you know what this means?
You didn't hear me, what I said, what I read. Allow me to read it again. A syndicate, a ruthless one, within Kenya Airways is stripping parts from aircraft on the tarmac, selling them to the airline, getting back to the airline as new in a shameless cycle of theft. As passengers suffer endless flight cancellations and farmers watch their products wilt because they can't export, the board's answer is a dubious 60 million shilling per month lease for old Boeing jets, a deal experts call financial suicide. With over 98 billion shillings of taxpayer money already spent on bailouts, Kenyans are left asking, is this the final betrayal of the pride of Africa? Omo. Hey, what a wow. It's the serious wow.
Means? Convince me to fly KQ, man. I'm sorry.
I beg you now.
Convince
KQ,
me.
Please. You were the the pride of Africa. Look at what Ethiopia is doing. Rwanda is coming up very fast. Uganda Airlines doing the thing. South Africa Airlines is trying kicks of a dying horse. Tanzania Air, Precision Air is doing what it's doing. Let's not even talk about Nigeria. Our own died before it even got a chance to breathe. Before they put the paddles on the chest of Nigeria Airways, pop, the thing. So, please, I beg you.
You did try to resuscitate that.
I beg. So now we're hearing.
No.
Okay, it's not funny. Please, I beg you. Kenya Airways, we will read the details of this story. But it's necessary that you don't allow the thing to die. There's a picture on page 2 of the Standard. I know that, Awuor, you have your cameras on the front lines, on the front pages, but this is another picture akin to what we saw yesterday on the Star. This is dead livestock. Dead livestock in the ground in Kenya. Dead. Not breathing, dead. Dead cattle lie scattered on parched land in northern Kenya, a stark reminder of the deepening drought that has wiped out pasture and water, pushing pastoralist communities to the brink of hunger. It's now a red alert. You know that in disaster management, you have yellow, you have orange, you have yellow, you have red, you have orange. By the time you're getting to red, you're very close to orange. Red alert. Hunger crisis looms as drought tightens grip on counties. And now if you're walking into counties and you're seeing livestock dead in the middle of the road, this is not a problem. This is catastrophic. And the question is, how much livestock are we going to continue to offtake? Is the government going to continue to offtake to feed people? But remember also that pastoralist communities depend on their livestock for everything. For everything. It's cultural, it's commercial, it's livelihood. And this is a severe climate issue that followed another severe one. What are we doing? Coco, they rang the bell. Who was hearing?
You know, when I see this story, I really get angry. You know why? Because once you visit the northern part of the country, there's a river called Tana River, which is a huge river that continues to flow year-round. We keep talking about constructing dams, 100 dams within a certain period of time. One would assume that we would take advantage of Tana River, build that dam, and ensure that the people and Kenyans living in northern part of the country have access to water.
I have a question.
Ask.
Alice Wahome is now the CS Lands.
Yes.
Before her appointment as the CS Lands, she was the CS Water and Irrigation Services. She was. She sat here in this chair and told us that in 2 years, they were going to build 100 dams. 100 dams in the country. I have a ask. Ask. I would assume that was a policy direction or a policy directive, and that it is on a piece of paper somewhere. The guy, Water and Irrigation, there is a CS sitting today. Isn't that something that you would have picked up on and said, okay, this is what my predecessor left here. How about we carry on and move with that? This, what we see, animals dead in counties. Can you imagine what's happening to people?
You know, and it's a vicious circle that keeps on happening. When I ask the question, when will we just put our boots down and work? Because, like we asked before, what we keep hearing from the political class is continuing to give us more promises over the promises they gave us. But we're not seeing any implementation of those promises. I'm sorry, but this is utter nonsense.
In fact,
this is utter nonsense.
You're a very sharp man. Because now you've just put something in my head. Because that's the thing. But when somebody comes and promises something to you, you get excited. So Kenyans, are you ready to be promised more, or do you want the things that they told you before to actually be done?
To be implemented. It's that simple.
Please, somebody write that down, because the way I am, I'm going to forget. Police pliers cost taxpayers 1 million shillings for pinching the wrong person.
Wait. So the players are supposed to pinch who?
I swear I didn't make that up. It's in the paper. Look, it's on page 3. See, it's not me. Wallah. It's not me. One would think that I made it up because I was bored. No. Police pliers cost taxpayers 1 million shillings for pinching the wrong person.
Wait.
It's actually a story.
That pliers are used to pinch someone. That's where I start from. Since when? So the right person to be pinched.
See, we're supposed to be going through the headlines. We're supposed to be going through the headlines. But let me just read this story. Please, you people should not be angry. It's actually about pliers. You know how a headline can be imagery for something else? This is actually about pliers, folks.
So you know pliers is a tool for electricals.
Yeah, please,
anyway.
just be clear.
Yes.
A Directorate of Criminal Investigations officer's decision to use pliers to force a village elder repay 250,000 shillings to an alleged complainant has cost Kenyans at least 1 million shillings after the High Court found this a violation of the Constitution. Duh. You could have told me that even without going constitutional. In a case where officers arrested and tortured the wrong person. Justice Emily Ominde observed that the government, knowing that the officers were on the wrong, had tried to convince Emily Chepkemboi and her daughter, Paris Jelimo, to settle the issue out of court. She said the Attorney General, the National Police Service Commission, the DCIO Eldoret East, Corporal Florence Kameri, and Veronica Munami should pay the two at least 1 million shillings as compensation and shoulder the cost of the case. Iyo yote, si uenda ulitumia pliers kufinya mtu. Sasa, lipeni pesa. And you try to get this person to settle out of court after you had pinched me with pliers. Then you are telling me, siko ubaya.
I'm still
Siko
here.
ubaya uliniumiza.
In the case where officers arrested and tortured the wrong person, Ndu, when is torture even allowed?
Then it's the wrong person. Yeah. That's where we are.
Police maintain law and order. Where? Ulisikia wapi?
Well, only on page 3 of the Bold newspaper. Realignment fear looms as that's a story. You want to get yourself a copy of the Standard today because it reads like a Nancy Drew novel. Realignment fear looms as ODM deal inches closer. Who's doing what? People went to Kamkunji, danced in Orange yesterday. We're going to look at that a little bit today as well. Now, there's a racket, not the kind for playing tennis. Racket ile watu wanafanya vitu mbaya. Inside fees racket. Principals use underhand tricks to fleece parents. I don't even think it's underhand. I think it's right there in the glare of daylight. It's not even under the table anymore.
Guys, let's stop lying to ourselves. We know what is happening. All we've chosen to do is look the other way.
No. C.S. Julius Ogamba, don't scratch your head. You know exactly what's going on. So people are stealing money from parents to get their children well-deserved positions in schools. That continues to be the thing.
And they're doing that because you failed. Let's call it what it is. Why are we hiding?
And just when you thought it was safe to get out of the water, Shakahola suspects now.
I can't
see, wait, I read the headline. Yeah. Shakahola suspect now seeks plea bargain deal.
Yeah.
Sawa. I killed him, or I did what my actions resulted in this person's death. Lakini sisi mnielewe. Let's see what we can do. Enos Amanya agreed to a plea bargain to issue orders for his testimony to be taken by the magistrate. He was cleared charged alongside Paul Mackenzie and 28 others. And so he's seeking, you know what, let's discuss this one to the other. The court appointed advocate Kelvin Lisanza to represent Amanya and guide him through the process. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions indicated it intends to enter into a plea bargain agreement with the accused on the basis of a recorded confession. So basically, if you come and tell us that this is what you did and this was the person who masterminded the whole thing, then perhaps we give you an opportunity to, at the very least, have your charges reduced or maybe even walk free. The story of leases, looting, and a grounded fleet exposed turbulence at KQ. So it's perhaps more than just not being able to meet overheads or pay debt or, fly people around the world. There's a lot more going on at KQ. A court has declined Rastafarian pleas over cannabis arrests. That's one that you want to look into as well. Ugandans head to the polls amid tight controls and muted opposition. 40 years on, Ugandans go to the polls under one ruler's shadow. This would be his 5th term if he won. Yes. This would be Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's 5th term if he wins from the results of the election today that Ugandans have gone to the polls over. Nyoro's 500 shilling school fees plan free lunch trigger storm in Parliament. Everybody shouting, what does it mean he's going to send people to school for 500 shillings? How is he going to pay? Because now you see somebody has done it. Because now you feel as though the pointer is going to come to you as per, what did you do with your money? Or you grew a brain that you can think about how to get extra funds to do things. People were saying, it's not Ndindi Nyoro's job. He should actually just go legislate and make budgets, and then it's not his job to do those things.
That is the fittest mentality. You need to be, what do you say? Ukombolewe. What ukombolewe?
Sawa.
They need to be saved.
Okay, sawa. I agree.
Yeah.
And I have still not finished the Standard, but you know what? You need to tell us what's on the Nation as well.
Let's go to the Daily Nation.
Okay.
800,000 senior school learners still wear at home.
Boy.
800,000 senior school learners still at home. Only about 300,000 of over the 1.1 million junior school graduates have reported to their respective senior schools since Monday, with the low turnout blamed on several factors, including cash constraints and the last-minute quest to change institutions.
Okay.
Happened your Tuko. Yes. Now, let's talk about fees. Schools are demanding payment of fees in full, some for the entire year. Transfers the weight of slots in schools where some students don't report. And this is travel. Learners traveling to far-flung areas still making arrangements to travel.
Okay.
Yeah. When one Gashaga says kila mtu asome kwao, that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Bursary. Needy students to secure bursaries and scholarships from state kitties. NGCDF, the Presidential the Education Fund, all these funds that do exist have not yet been processed. People are waiting for those bursaries.
See, watu hawaja amka asubuhi saa 9 panga line nje ya county office.
Bado.
All right.
Bado.
Okay.
Uganda decides. Millions of voters are casting their ballots today in Uganda's general election, with President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for nearly 4 decades, seeking a 7th term.
Oh, it's 7th.
7th.
It's true. It's 7th. It's 7th. Yeah, it's 7th. 4 times 7 is 28. It's 4 times 6 is 24.
Hey,
You're counting your
3.
You're counting your fingers.
You know, I'm just doing like, if you do this, you have 10. So if I remove 7, I
have
only
3.
remain with 3.
Yeah.
You can imagine how many times those are.
So me, who just said 5, is 7.
7.
Seeking his 7th term. Thanks, please.
It's okay.
Okay.
How Njonjo factor shaped law society. That is, as the legal advisor to President Jomo Kenyatta, once prosecuted and imprisoned by the colonial state, AG Charles Njonjo supported a bar and bench that retained their whiteness and British orientation. Now, New Year hearing gift for dozens of children. So that is children with hearing disability, and here they are being given hearing aids. And Wamatangi alleges political witch hunt as property was destroyed. Political witch hunt. What did he do? Hakupeana shamba ya affordable housing. That's what you're being told. As a result, takufinya.
Lakini wacha tuseme kweli. Wamatangi anafanya kazi Kiabu. Sido? He's working.
It's in life.
Okay, sorry.
In life.
Okay.
Ministry of Nakuru Slum School with no grade 10 learners and only 4 Form 4s.
That's a school.
4 Form 4s and no grade 10 learners.
Okay.
How is that a school? What's the minimum number of students?
In where?
In a school.
No, where?
It's in Nakuru.
In
right?
Nakuru.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? There's an education officer.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah.
And all the schools that are under the public system are listed, and they're under the purview of the education officers in that area. I would like to have an interesting conversation with said officer and say, excuse me, auntie or uncle, how far? Do you know that such a school exists? Would you not rather say, shut it down and have them move to another one? What are we doing?
Question is, do they have another one near?
Do they receive capitation? You will find that school that has 4 learners is receiving 20 million capitation.
And there was an NGCDF spend of 10 million shillings to construct a toilet. Just saying. Okay. U.S. renewal of AGOA opens the door for Kenya export growth. The renewal deal positions Kenya to diversify exports, boost investor confidence, and drive economic growth. ISPAC, whichever you want to read it, clear air on sale of Safaricom shares. That is the question. Communications Authority, CMA, and Competitions AU Authority backs the decision of the sale of what? Of Safaricom shares.
Okay.
Now, ODM tells rebels to leave as unity drive starts ahead of 2027. But I've heard they said that they would not kick anyone out.
Yes. But party leader Dr. Awuor Ginga said very clearly that nobody will be kicked out because of their divergent views.
However,
so you people who are wagging your tongue saying that no, they should be kicked out, I'm telling you as the party leader, nobody is going to be kicked out. We welcome divergent views, and it is only for us to then be able to make the party stronger. Donge.
Thanks. For the elections, eh?
Okay.
Now, this is political persecution, Wamatangi says, after Nyayo property is demolished. Hey man, the vehicles there that were destroyed. Oh my God.
Niseme initoke.
Sema ikutoke.
There's a way, even if you have warned somebody that they're encroaching on land, there is a way to move the thing. The manner in which those things were destroyed yesterday, I'm sorry, is wickedness.
It's wickedness.
Why would you do that? Under this oversight of police, they were standing watching this going on because they were guarding the area. Nah, man, even if he had encroached, fine him.
Fine him.
But you can move the things away properly.
Fine him.
All those businesses, they lost millions.
This is
Why
not
would you
how
do
to
that?
do it. This is not the way you do it.
It could have been the governor of Kiabu. It could have been a businesswoman
Could be
somewhere in
you.
Tala. It could be me. You don't do that.
You don't do that.
It was wrong.
I mean, even if it is your property, and here you see, but Kenya Railways maintains that it was clearing structures from land meant for the 2027 AFCON tournament infrastructure projects. We agree. If you must do that, fine. But this is not how to do it. Let's agree.
You know what?
Basic logic and humanity must apply in everything you do. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
Excuse.
Is it tomorrow they're going to start building this?
Nope.
In fact, they better start building it tomorrow.
Today?
Exactly. They better start building and moving pylons and everything. They better start building it today. Because the way in which they move those things and that wanton destruction that we saw, you would imagine that the emergency was so hot that they wanted to start immediately. They should start right now. They should, today, we should see excavators moving those things.
Guys,
come on.
If we want this country to change, you must respect the rule of law. Fine. This man might have encroached into public land, right? It is Kenya Railways line. Right? There's a reason why we have the police, there's a reason why we have the courts. But then again, you ask the question, police maintain law and order. Which law and order were you maintaining when people's properties are being destroyed like this? Guys,
I agree.
We must have a conversation.
Absolutely. And I agree that they were encroaching.
Yes.
You gave them notice.
Yes.
They broke the law. It's good.
It's good.
Remove them. However, there needs to be mode of orderliness. Now, what do you expect these people to do? Come on, man. No. Can I give you the headlines on the Star?
Yes, give me the headlines on the Star. Me jam.
Me jam?
That's nonsense.
I'm sorry. Jam.
You don't do that to people. That is people's hard work.
I know.
There's a way you go around things.
I mean, just look at those pictures.
Yeah.
Just look at those pictures.
No.
Awuor, can you see? Who did he offend? That's the question. Who did he offend? It's interesting because this question is which law is not which law did he break? Who did he offend? Why would you do this kind of thing for goodness sake? Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi had his car and carpet cleaning business near Nyamweya Stadium that was demolished on Tuesday. And you know what? These are vehicles that belong to other people.
People who just
brought
came
them there.
Their cars to be washed, to be cleaned.
Joe. On the same page of the Star, big ripoff. MCA's top county staff Hey, poof, like magic. Yeah, now you see them.
Now you don't.
They vanish with car and house loans. Where did they vanish to? Inside groundnut shell to somebody's village? Oh, how? Assemblies, executive arms fail to recover facilities advanced to officials. Fail as per they couldn't find them. Fail as if they didn't want to, or they disappeared actually like magic.
No, failed because they slept on the job. Let's just say what it is.
I swear. J.J. Abrams, you need to come here. You need to come here and produce a series.
A series, yeah.
And put it on streaming platforms around the world. Where? We will watch. It's funny. It's very interesting. Vanish. Wow, okay. 4 decades on, President Museveni seeks to extend his rule as Uganda votes. And without a trace, something else that has disappeared, families spend sleepless nights over missing men serving in the Russian army in that war. That's a tear that should never be shed, but it's being shed by a number of people because their beloved cannot be found. How counties will share the proposed 420 billion shilling proposed by Treasury. So they're looking at how they're going to divide all of this. And mobile money agents' cash transfers dropped by 430 billion shillings. Hey, everywhere things are disappearing, man. Guys, gear up, saddle up. On the streams, talk to us. What's the problem? And if there is a problem, are we okay with it? Are we not talking about it? it doesn't matter where it is. Is it in health? Is it in education? Is it things that you see like this, where things are being destroyed wantonly in a grotesque manner? Is it that people are not able to send their children to school? Or is there joy in your heart and everybody's okay and we can keep this caboose moving? Where exactly are we? We're having a conversation with you come 7 o'clock. Look at the stories that we talk about today. We'll share a couple of them even as we go into the hour. Our phone lines are going to be open. Let's talk. Good morning, 7 a.m.
Spice up your life.
It is now 7 a.m. with ICEA Lion. Protect your today, securing your tomorrow.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
Good morning. This is the News Wire. I'm Leah Obaga. President William Ruto is expected to visit Machakos County today to launch the 169 million shillings Nyota Fund aimed at benefiting over 7,000 youth in the county, or that is from the three Ukambani counties of Machakos, Makueni and Kitui. The launch is scheduled to take place at the Kenyatta Sports Stadium in Machakos with the aim of gathering the youth aged between 19 to 29 from all 110 wards of the wider Ukambani area, with each youth expected to receive 22,000 in the first phase. Speaking at the event, Mutituni Deputy Commissioner Jane Wambui revealed that the government has funded the transportation of the youth from their areas to Machakos town, where the event will be held.
Anakuja sababu ya hiyo Nyota program ya vijana wetu. All those who applied for the Nyota and they qualified. Saa 10 tunastahili kuwa tumekaa stadium ndani. Uone chifu wako, ujue utachukuliwa wapi na ile basi itawapeleka. Wale wa Vadeamua kuna basi yao. Wale wa Mtituni na Gelani kuna basi yao. Tafadhali ongea na chifu wako, umuuliza utachukuliwa wapi na ni saa ngapi, tupatane stadium.
It should be noted that the president has been visiting various counties to launch the program, most recently in Samburu County, where he urged the youth to embrace the program he championed to help them start small businesses. During the event, the Secretary of Youth, that is the CS, Fikirini Jacobs, emphasized the mission of the Nyota program, saying that young people should use the funds wisely. The Judicial Service Commission, led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, continues conducting interviews today to recruit 15 judges of the Court of Appeal. The court currently has 27 judges serving in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru and Nyeri, compared to the required number of 70. The judges who are aiming to fill the vacancies include Justice Chacha Mwita, Hedwig Ongundi, Dr. Joseph Kiplagat, Sila Munyao and Byram Ongaya. Justice Byram Ongaya, who was interviewed yesterday responding to Chief Justice Koome, who asked him to describe the qualities of a Court of Appeal judge, had this to say.
A good judge of the Court of Appeal should be able to uphold the judiciary code of conduct. I'm reflecting about independence, impartiality. A good judge should be of high integrity and should uphold the Bangalore principles, including equality and due diligence and propriety. And by that, I also add that a good judge of appeal should exercise judicial courage.
Ongaya defended himself by saying that he is capable of carrying out the duties of the position if appointed, considering his experience, especially while serving under the IEBC.
I have not dropped from anywhere, but that I have lived in Kenya, and by that I am able to make responsive decisions, develop jurisprudence that is consistent with the expectations of the people of Kenya. I also want to mention that as a judge and a judicial leader, I have been able to reflect about collegiality, and in writing of decisions, a good judge of appeal, and which I have impressed, should be able to be conscious about the do's and don'ts of collegiality.
And our brothers from Uganda head to the ballot today in a presidential election with President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for 4 decades, seeking another term. The voting is taking place amid a blackout on the internet with heightened security and tensions. The incumbent 81-year-old is seeking a 7th term after more than 4 decades in power, facing off against 7 other candidates. His main challenger, who is almost half his age, is Robert Kyangulanyi, better known to as Bobby Wine, who is running for the 2nd time and has strong support from young voters. Polling stations open any time from now and will close at 4 p.m. with the winner expected to be announced by Saturday afternoon. That's the News Wire. I'm Leah Ubaga.
Spice FM, Nakuru.
Good morning, and I love your show.
Thank you.
Having come from a Kikuyu radio background, I migrated to Spice because of the content.
I was born in a slum, but somehow I got a break in life. So sometimes when you see the sweating coming out because of the passion and whatever it is, behind the noise, there are people. And we share the same umbilical cord.
It shouldn't be like that. I am so disappointed. We used to tell Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that he's doing policy of conmanship. And even President Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali hii ndio iko na conmanship ya hali ya juu. You cannot promise people that you reduce tax, then you double.
In politics, there is the issue of trust. For you to turn around and then stab the same people who gave you that trust, there is no other level of dishonesty. Imabo, utaona dunia tu.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
In this country, 6 families and 8,000 Kenyans control 90% of the GDP. We are not a country. We are a plantation. We work for Ruto.
When you're telling the judges court orders are papers or they will not obey court orders, they're sitting and you're seeking orders from them. So how are they supposed to interpret it? Isn't it an oxymoron?
When you see a judiciary that seems to be under some control somewhere, you start questioning. We have very powerful governors, but they don't use their offices to serve the people.
If you are not shameful to do what you are doing, why should we protect you?
I'm human. Everybody's human. So when you're told, kuja tuongee, I mean, you'd be a fool to say, stagi kuongea. Conversations have to be had, you know?
People in leadership should only go into leadership if they are ready and willing to change the lot of the people.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
One of the things that are ailing our country is negative ethnicity. You find you as a state officer, instead of thinking as a Kenyan, you think like a tribal person.
Let me tell you something. The biggest problem we have had in this country is a leadership deficit. There is nothing that you are going to do in the process of change if you are not a risk taker. So you really have to pursue your vision to a logical conclusion and even be ready to step on people's toes.
When it comes to the economy, you can run away with it. They say statistics are like bikinis. They reveal a lot, but they conceal the vitals. And so government people would throw statistics at you and tell you they're revealing a lot of information to you, but it's really concealing the real vitals.
We need to get out of that, because when we want to grow our democracy, one basic thing that really requires to be understood by the political class, by all of us, is institutions are critical.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
SRC's mandate is constitutional. It's not an advice. It's actually something you must do.
Must do.
Like now, you abandon, of course, the narrative of wheelbarrow, Mutu Mjengo, Mama Mboga, and all those, that rosy narrative.
Your expenditure is 3.3 trillion, and you're collecting only 2.5. Out of that 2.5, you're spending 1.8 trillion service loans and so forth.
That the CDF kit, it's in itself a symptom of corruption.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
It's 9 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we say a very good morning to you as we get into the second hour of Kenya's biggest conversation on this Thursday, the 15th of January. Across going west, the good people of Uganda, polls have opened from what we would expect from 6 a.m., as is normally the practice. And so folks are out and about starting to vote. And in the last words before the internet was completely shut off, we saw that the opposition leader, who is a contender for the presidential seat, was Bobby Wine, said, you know what? Go out and vote, guys. That's all we can ask of you. Go out and vote. Let your voice be heard. That's some of the stuff that we're going to be doing this morning during this conversation at this hour. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that number is 0732 142 650 or 0732 142 651. Before we do that, when you sit in conversations with people and somebody tells you how, yes, you know, I'm buying 2.5 acres of land. I am going to do holiday outside the country this year. I'm going to build a house in the village. I'm going to, you know, there are plans, People have plans and people are getting things done. We can see you, and we can see that you're out there making the most of, you know, what you have and what you can do.
The grind.
You know, you're on the grind and you're making it work and you're really crushing those goals. But sometimes you're still taking it very hard on yourself when you say, okay, but I still don't have a preparation for the future.
True.
And we're saying that, you know, you don't have to feel so bad anymore. You don't have to worry about that, because there are folks who are going to actually help you piece by piece, brick by brick, put your future plans together. And you only have to ask one simple question. What's my plan?
What's your plan?
And the good people at ICEA Lion will say, okay, you want to do something? You want to put something together? You want to go somewhere in the next 5 years? You want to be somewhere in the next 10? Whatever it is that you want to do, ICA Line will help you put that plan together. So I implore you to give them a call. Take that bad feeling, scrunch it up and throw it in the dustbin, and open your mouth and ask the question, what's my plan? What is your plan? And what's your plan? Answer that question, and somebody will be able to help you well on your way to making sure that plan becomes a reality.
Yeah, because, you know, for a very long time, many people do not know what to do because they lack that guidance. But how about you find a partner who wants to hold your hand and tell you, let us sit down, have a conversation around your finances and how we will make that work for you, while at the same time making it grow. I mean, who doesn't want a good life?
Absolutely. And speaking about who doesn't want a good life, if I told you that you could spend money and get something,
tell me more.
Is gingering your body, Abby? Okay.
Tell me.
It's making your stomach very sweet. All right. This is how you can do it. If you have a KCB card, the winning card is
the
what
winning
we're
card,
call it. So if you don't have one, now would be a time to get one, because the winning card allows you to shop and get something in return. You could win something, and the kind of winning we're talking about is not a small something. 10,000 shillings every week, 100,000 shillings every month, a dream getaway to Zanzibar where flights and accommodation and exciting excursions are paid for because you shopped and then you got a chance to enter a draw.
So that means every time I swipe with that card, I get entered into winning.
Bam.
And that could be weekly, monthly, or I can get everything. Hey, do.
Don't I give you nice things?
Hey, I like you.
Yes. Now talk to the guys at KCB. Tell them I told you.
Yes.
That you're looking for that card, so that you can now take that card, spend, and then win something, and then you can even go to Zanzibar. Don't ever say I didn't do anything nice for you. Today.
And it's across all the cards, right?
Yeah. Debit, credit, prepaid. Use any of them to pay for those things. You're going to buy fuel, you're going to buy bread and milk in the market, you're going to pay for this, that, the other thing. Doesn't matter. So long as you do, sure.
And remember, if you're going to Zanzibar, you can go with your mpoa.
It's not just you.
No.
It's you and plus.
You decide who that plus one is.
We won't even
That's
ask.
on you.
We won't even ask you. Just use your card. Use the winning card, KCB winning card today. Remember that terms and conditions do apply. But at the same time, people, remember that KCB is for people. It is for better. Kabisa. All right. Will you rewind us about... Hey, did I say rewind us? It's the same thing because you're going back and doing it again.
Yes.
Coco. All right. Remind us about today's proverb, sir.
Today's proverb, right? So the proverb today talks about the valleys and hills from the land of where? Of Algeria, a beautiful country that is rich in oil that continues to spur its economy. But remember, because the country is 80 to 90% desert, fuel in Algeria tends to be cheaper than water because getting water to the people is expensive because then again, remember, it is predominantly what? A desert, right?
Right.
But let's talk about the proverb. The only thing left in the valley are its stones. The only thing left at the valley are its stones.
And even that you can do something with.
Yes.
You know, I thought about it before. I said, well, then you need to get out of the valley. Okay, yeah, sure. But there's something left that you can do something with.
True.
You can do something with those stones, even if you're at the bottom of it.
You could use the stones to have a very strong foundation that will propel you into getting outside that valley.
Indeed.
Ayo. Gems.
Drop it.
Kabisa.
Kabisa. Aya, guys. Ni.
Kosawa.
I have to ask the question because I hear there is a murmuring, there is a vexation in the spirit, and people are saying that they're not really happy with the status quo. But is that the truth, really? Or is it just something that people want to say? Because, yeah, everybody might be complaining here or there, and you feel that things are not okay. Oh, the president is terrible. Oh, the executive is doing drama. The government is not working. There are unfinished projects. There's poverty. There's corruption. There's drought. People are dying. Livestock are being flown across the street, the roads. The city is dirty. There's no water. Buildings are falling down. Education, children, 800,000 grade 10 learners are not in school. You know, so many things.
There is no respect for the rule of law.
Yeah.
You've broken the law instead of getting arrested, your property is destroyed, including those of your customers, yet there is maintaining law and order.
Muko sawa?
Misko sawa. Me, I'll just tell you straight up. Siko sawa.
Why?
I'm not, because look at how we're operating. You know, we are individuals who've gone to school. We are individuals who are governed by the rule of law. But it never seems as if the rule of law is what you're doing. It's a suggestion for many. It's a suggestion, especially for those in authority. And you look at what that is doing to the country and you ask yourself the question, Nani alitukosea? Who wronged us? Who hurt you? Who raised you? You know, because until that time when you do things right, until that time when you sit down and decide as a country, from the leadership all the way down to those that you want to call mamambogas and what about the border, until that time when everybody operates within that law and respects that law, hakuna place tunaenda. We can't afford to say tuko sawa in a situation where things hazifanywi sawa. Hapana, tumekata.
There's a problem.
There is a problem.
And does the gravity or the magnitude of that problem then reflect in the reaction of Kenya's people? When it comes to, you know, things that are happening. Yesterday, a number of things happened. There were twin events that happened in different parts of the city. And then on one side, there was this demolition of property and all of these things, which we were told that after 6 p.m. by the courts that actually can happen, okay. But then many would argue that all of this happened before 6 o'clock. But that happened on one side, where, you know, it doesn't matter whose it was, is that business was actually destroyed. There was a court order, there was a warning, there was a grace period that was given for these guys to be able to get out of there. But the question is, the manner of destruction that we saw, is it telling of what folks have to go through? On the other side of the city, going a little bit east at the Kamkunji grounds, the ODM party came together for a rally. Oh, I don't know what it was for, really. I guess it was to bring people together to kind of speak to the ground, because this is what the ground, they felt that they needed to speak to the ground to say we're united. We are not kicking people out of the party. Doesn't matter what you say, and that whether or not this is thing about whether or not we'll be a contender for 2027 or whether we are going to be in broad-based. I don't even think any of that matters. But they're the people for whom you're seeking a vote from, and this is a question that we're asking of people this morning that we really need you to let us know, because you know what, we could be behind the microphone every day. There could be people standing on top of vehicles having rallies. There could be courts who are talking about the rule of law and justice and etc., etc. But maybe people in the country don't have a problem. We could read these headlines. We could collect the stories. Just look at the headline. Let's start on the Star. MCAs, they vanished and they took loans and cars. 800,000 senior school students are still at home. That's not a joke. How many students are there? 2 odd million. 800,000 of them are at home. Okay.
Money lost in KQ.
Hey, bus. People, okay. Aeroplane on the ground. Somebody goes, takes spare parts. The plane belongs to KQ. So let's dissect this a little bit so that you can understand exactly what we're saying. The plane belongs to KQ. It is. Do they park? Do planes park?
They dock. Let's say they
dock. No, ships dock.
That one.
Whatever they do.
Hangar.
Somebody comes, removes spare parts.
From that plane.
From that plane.
Not even spare parts. Removes a part from that plane.
A vital part from the plane. Then goes wherever they go, Kirinyaga Road, I don't know. They go and they put it back together. They wrap it up, bubble wrap it, I don't know, saran wrap, whatever they need to do, cling film. Then they bring it back. Say, you guys were looking for this part for this plane. Me, Nikonamutu. Your guy now has wrapped the thing and brought it back to KQ and said, here we sell for you. Yeah. We sell for you, then here you can now. I don't understand. Who is selling? KQ stuff. And you want to tell somebody is in cahoots with somebody. The country, the government, Treasury has spent close to 1 trillion shillings in bailout money for this organization. And then there are staff who are selling the part of the plane that is in the hangar do I speak my language?
Meanwhile, as all this is happening, what exactly are we doing to what we want to call national pride, that is KQ, the pride of Africa? If you are traveling using KQ, cancellations and delays is order of business. You're never sure that you'll depart Nairobi on time or from any other destination on time and get to your destination on time. Why? Because there is a staff who's gone, taken apart, and is now selling it back.
Can you imagine?
You have fewer planes operating. As a result, everyone else is affected.
Yes, that is the thing.
That's the thing.
And this is your national. Hey, I take God beg you now, KQ, please. I really like that song that you people play in the plane when we are.
It's beautiful.
When we are traveling. Don't allow this kind of thing to happen so that we will not enjoy that music in the plane anymore. Please now. Can you imagine? That's what we are begging. What is it? And that's just one headline. Then we look at now, mobile money agents' cash transfers dropped by 430 billion shillings. That people are not sending as much anymore because they don't have. Okay, that's another headline. Still, even inside here, then the governor of Kiambu has his business ramshackled. It just goes on and on.
How much are we not sending? 430 what?
It's dropped by 430 billion shillings.
430 billion shillings. The sale of Safaricom shares is 240 billion. That means what we are losing today because people are poorer today is double the amount you're selling Safaricom shares for. If we do not connect the dots, we can sit here and give State of the Nation addresses, say how the macro economy is doing well, say how the global institutions, the Bretton Woods institutions are saying the way Kenya's economy is doing right. But it is the Kenyan who is making that economy move. And if they do not have anything to spend, Safaricom or any other institution today is poorer, 430 billion shillings poorer because of tax regime and measures that we have put upon the people of Kenya. We must connect the dots. Siko sawa. Nipige. Siko sawa.
You know what? So this is the question that we're asking to people today. Just taking a snapshot of those issues that we look at this morning on the 15th of January. And yes, I said Kirinyaga Road because honestly, what are you doing? Because the ridiculousness of that statement that I have made this morning is the ridiculousness of this action that we're expecting that something is going to be profitable when you're ripping it off at the seams. The very thing that should give you a profit, you're stealing it. And mind you, this thing that we're talking about when we're saying that a plane is on the tarmac and that somebody, that means that there was somebody who was watching over you when you were doing this thing and allowed you to do it. There was somebody who knew very well, because all of these parts, from what we understand from engineers, all of these parts have serial numbers. They are logged by engineers when they come in. And we know that these aircraft are not locally assembled. So they come with they come with all the logs. You have all of that information. So somebody oversaw that process where you went and took the thing. Now, what are we calling it? We're saying, oh, they are being removed and then they are being sold. No, it's being stolen.
Let's call it what it is.
In broad daylight. Then you want to hope by some Jesu Christi revelation magic that then the company will be profitable. It's the same attitude if you want to now take it and extrapolate to the country. Yes. You want to imagine that an MCA who is the representative at the lowest level of the people will take a loan, will take a car, and then will disappear, vanish, poof, like morning mist at noon. And then you want to tell me that you expect the country to be profitable.
Never.
How do you think it's going to happen? How do you think it's going to happen? I don't know. Maybe people will tell me you come from where you've come from. You're coming here to shout. Maybe everybody else is.
No, I give you the right. Please
maybe
shout.
Everybody is okay. Maybe people are okay. And this is the question that we're asking this morning, guys. The things that we see happening, is it just a bump in the road, or is everything going to get better when we look at it? I do agree that there are things that you must do as an individual to then contribute to the national psyche. Are we actually doing it? Are we? Is it being done?
No, it's not.
Are we okay that 800, not 800, not 800, not 8,000, not 80,000, 800,000, 14, 13, 15-year-olds who should be in school? The law says it is compulsory for you to be in school, but they're at home.
Yet, the government of Kenya tells you we are ensuring 100% transition. Which 100% transition are we talking about when today we're talking about 800,000 senior school students who are at home simply because pesa hakuna, they can't afford uniforms, they are looking to transfer their students. Some were taken to 200 kilometers away in a day school. And here we are saying we are investing into education. Where? Where? Are we serious with our lives? Are we serious with the future that we want to see? Are we serious on where we want Kenya to go to? Because it's easy for us to go to these rallies. It's easy for us to give statements every other new day. It's easy for us to sit in our offices with AC and leather and give all these statements. But Mwananchi is suffering. And until that time when we decide, we'll be intentional in doing things right, nothing will ever move.
But are you? I don't know. Sometimes I feel that sometimes we sit here in these positions and I know that people under the cover of their roofs are complaining about things. And I know that we see them in the headlines, that we have an opportunity to then be able to share some of these issues because we have the wherewithal to go out and cover some of these stories, or that the information comes to us by virtue of what we do. But do Kenyans see it as something serious enough to want to move the needle in terms of how the country is run? I don't know. I don't know. That I feel that we'd be a little bit more loud about it. And I keep referring to a baby. A baby, the only thing they know how to do is cry out. And guess what? They will not stop crying until you do something about that situation, because it is so uncomfortable for them that when they need a change, when they need food, when they need to be comforted and or held, they will cry because that is the only thing they know how to do. Something needs to shift if it does. But I still seem to get the feeling that maybe Kenyans are actually okay. Are you? It's the question that we're asking this morning. 0732-142-650 or 0732-142-651. Call in today and let us know, what's the pain point? What should we do about it? Or are we still going back to the place where we say all of this is insular, all of this is inward? We should look inward first. There seem to be too many things that are going wrong, too much for us to have to keep quiet about it. And is a vote enough? Are you okay? And is a vote enough to swing things in the opposite direction? Let's take some of your calls this morning and get into it. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, Ndu. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Otieno Otieno. I'm calling you from Wasingishu County.
How are things in Wasingishu this morning?
It's cold, properly cold. I'm on my way to school. I'm a student, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to ask, what institution are you in?
Eldoret National Polytechnic.
Okay, brother, talk to me. What's going on?
Now, forgive the panting and everything. I'm walking so fast.
That's understandable. We got to do two things at once. We'll do it.
We applied for help last module. It has not been disbursed this module. Now, that is not the gist of the issue. The problem is you cannot sit for your examination unless you have completed school fees. Deadline for registration for the examination is on the 23rd of January. And remember, the last module hatujamaliza. Apart from that, there are things that we use because you see it's achieved. 60% of what we do is practical. So there are tools that we use in the workshops that we were told by the school that are supplied specifically by the government. We never saw them. Exams that we did in the last module were done halfway. And it is in this country that we were told that TVET is the future.
Yes, actually, when we saw the proliferation of TVETs around the country, it was said that, you know what, because what you would do then from this is that you would get the learning that you needed to then go into a hands-on career, right? And that it was possible then for you to then be able to get funding for this. But from what you're telling me, brother, is that funding module for the last term has not come in. And also now has not been disbursed.
Yeah,
and this one also.
It indicates verified. It has been verified since last module. Students are getting out of this TVET half-baked. I'm telling you, there's nothing going on in this TVET. In these polytechnics and colleges, there's nothing going on. You are given the theory, you walk out, go and do something about the practical on your own outside the school. It's bad.
I hear you. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a good day at school today. For all intents and purposes, today you must study, but don't tire about speaking up about this. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. It's definitely something we're going to bring up. So for now, have a good day, and let's talk again soon.
Have a good day too.
Cheers. More of your calls coming in this morning. We'll take them. 0732 142 650, 0732 142 651. We're going to go through our online chats as well because there are quite some, and folks are already saying, nah, we're not okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm Harrison Muboga.
Yes, Harrison. Where are you calling from, sir?
Mimi naomba niongee Kiswahili.
Hakuna shida. Unapiga kutoka wapi?
Kutoka Mombasa.
Okay. Niambie.
Yes.
Uko aje?
Yes, I'm calling from Mombasa.
Wewe uko sawa? Kila kitu iko sawa?
Sasa. Hizi tunashangaa na rais kwenda akipatia vijana pesa. Hiyo ni kitu mbaya kwa maana kuna taasisi kile. Hapana.
Ungependa afanye aje? Okay, let's hear from some others. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit later, Harrison. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you? Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Nairobi, Pangani. Yeah, I'm in SpiceFM.
Yes. What are you experiencing?
No, we are experiencing difficult things. In fact, I'm talking about SHA. I was paying 137 shillings per month. In fact, this month I have increased until 300, and I have tried to pay 1,000 because they told us that we will pay Ripa for a pole. I have tried to pay. They are telling me that you cannot pay less than 3,300.
Who had told you that you can pay Lipa Pole Pole?
The message I have received from SHA.
The message came to your phone. It said your SHA is due whatever, but you can pay Lipa Pole Pole.
Yeah. I was paying 107 shillings per month.
Okay.
They have increased from 107 to 300.
Okay.
They never even sent for me the message that that they have increased the amount. I have tried to lift up for a pole. They have ignored. In fact, we don't know where we are heading to do. I don't know where we are heading.
I hear you, brother. So what does that mean? That if you were to go to hospital today, would you be able to sort out bills using your SHA?
I could. Because if you have not paid, how will you? I will not.
Okay. So the question today that we're asking, are you okay? You are saying no.
No, we are not okay. I'm not okay. That's why I'm complaining. It's terrible. Life is so difficult. It's terrible.
So this is definitely something that we're passing over to Dr. Mercy Mwangangi, who is the CEO of SHA, that this is something that's been increased. Folks are not able to pay Lipa Pole Pole even when the option was given. Thank you for your call this morning. We're definitely passing on that information. But the answer to our question, obviously, is that a big no this morning. In the very least, we can wish you a good day for now and hope that things do get better. Asante Sana for calling in this morning.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. More of your calls, we'll take them this morning, and they're coming in definitely. So I'm just going to remind you of what that number is before, and Dennis is going to look at some of the comments that are coming in. Are you okay? If you're not, what is it? And then we're going to get to the point where we say then what can actually be done. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Kisii.
Yes, Kisii. We're calling in from Kisii. What's your name, sir?
My name is Lawrence Nsungo.
Lawrence, please turn down the volume on your radio.
Yeah?
Please turn down the volume on your radio.
Oh, Lawrence, yeah?
Okay, yes, Lawrence.
Yes.
Talk to me. Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Why?
With the current government. Hello?
With the current government, you're not okay. What's going on?
Because the way I see things are going is not okay, because we are struggling, both paying fees, school fees. The other thing, the president is going around giving young generation 25,000, and other institutions, they are struggling they don't have money.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that that's not okay, because other people, they are not getting services.
I hear you, Lawrence. It's tough.
Yes.
It's tough. So the answer to that question is no, we are not okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for calling in this morning. I hope that in this minute there will be some hope and that you can be okay for now as some of these things we look towards them. Be involved in the conversation. Don't be not okay and not speak out about it. That would be our thing going on. Let's take more calls as they're coming in this morning. Dennis, coming to you in just a bit. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where you're calling in from?
I'm Philip Sheshi.
Yes, Philip.
Yes, I'm from Kakamega County.
Okay. Karibu Sana. As we do two things, turn down the volume on your radio first, and then tell me, are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Why?
Depending on how the government is handling issues, we cannot be okay. One is that the current regime is using every opportunity to make money and not considering us as the common wananchi.
And
like we look at SHA, we look at the CBE. You know, when students are sent in schools that are far away from home to buy uniforms, to buy those things, I think the target of the government is just to make money through taxes without considering us. But that makes our life so difficult, and that's why I'm saying I'm not okay.
I hear you on that, and it's okay to not be okay. Yeah. That is for sure. And thanks for calling in this morning. And in this, and we're going to say it to everybody, and I hope in this minute that you can have a glimmer of hope that if you speak out and speak out consistently, we can get to the point whereby we can start to say we are okay. So thanks for calling in this morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
They're coming in, Dennis. I think I'll take a couple more of that before we go to socials this morning. And so let's hear from you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Madam Undu.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
My name is Karajawa Weru,
Yes.
calling from Bahati in Nakuru County.
Aha, good morning. Are you okay?
No.
Why?
An emphatic no. Our country is heading in the wrong direction. I can say this. Look at the rhetoric from our leaders. Our economy is good, everything is good. I'm wondering why people with brains are cheating their subjects. Look at the education sector and the health sector, Madam Du. They are not working. There is no money circulating in the country. Look at the issue of placement of the grade 10 students.
Yeah.
The other day, the network or the internet was working when they were selecting the students who had done well, exceeding expectations.
Sure.
All of a sudden, the system is down. What we hear next? We are told, this person who has been admitted in Starehe was wrong, but that person should go to
Okay, I think we're losing you a little bit, sir. Right, that may have gone. Okay, so I'd like to come back to this to then be able to hear what it is you are trying to say in the fullness, but maybe we should try and get that call back in as we take some others this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
My name is Kogo, calling from Eldoret.
Yes, Kogo. Are you okay?
I do.
Hi.
I'm no.
Why?
The situation in the country.
What's up?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
You are talking about the money that is being lost in the country, and you're saying you are okay, and we are going to Singapore. How can you go to Singapore and you're losing a lot of money?
Yep. There's money lost.
So, a lot of money, not one. KQ have been for the last 20 years, and it is not coming. It is not standing on itself. So you close the KQs instead of us losing the money every day, and it diverts the money to schools and hospitals.
Yep, I hear you.
In Eldoret, Rivertex was closed and it was pumped 10 billion. 10 billion if they would have given to people to do business or open other things, we would be going somewhere. It was lost. 10 billion got lost. Somebody who was in the helm of that is just sleeping in his house, living in a very luxurious home, and you're saying you're going to Singapore. And you're talking about fighting corruption.
Well, I hear you, sir. And you can't be quiet, even if we stay in our spaces. You can't be quiet about some of these issues. So speak it out, whatever it is. And thank you for speaking out this morning and joining us in this conversation today. And we'll keep doing it until the needle moves. Thank you very much for your call this morning. Okay, guys, the log is full. Let's keep taking some of those calls as they're coming in this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
I'm Moses.
Moses, please turn down the volume on your radio.
Okay, I've done so.
Fantastic. Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Why?
I'm very much worried.
Okay.
Last year I had a very big leader saying that in Kenya 2 billion or 3 billion are lost every day, are stolen every day. My question is, why are you a leader? Are you there to supervise the stealing of money? Number two, recently I talked to a parent whose child was posted in grade 10 at national school. I was wondering, when the parent tried to inquire, he was told, 28 fees January, then 15,000 development, then 35,000 uniform. Which kind of uniform is this that is costing 35,000? Surely. And this is money that is hidden. Then the government pays 22,000. So the parent 53,000. This government should ensure that the parents are not actually exhausted by schools. Anyway, I'm not okay. Things are worse. We don't know where we're headed to. Maybe God to intervene.
Indeed, and for us to not keep quiet about not being okay. But thank you for sharing that this morning. And it's not a feeling, it's a reality in the world in which we live. Asante Sana for joining in this conversation today. Let's hear from some other folks coming from different parts. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am Serem from Kericho.
Yes. How are things in Kericho, and are you okay?
Of course, I'm not okay.
You're not okay?
Yes.
Speak up just a little bit for me.
Okay, my concern comes out from the negligence from the public hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I lost a friend last week. Yeah, so my classmate was training in the Kenya prisons. Then he complained of general body weakness and vomiting. The guy was admitted in the hospitals within the Kenya prisons training, and after some time he was referred to the Kenyatta National Hospital. So he's been Kenyatta in KNH for 2 weeks without improvement. He was just vomiting and severe headache.
Okay.
So the sister called me because I was still in the hub country. So I advised them that I should talk to the doctor. So talking to the doctor wasn't that cooperative. Then to some point we decided to refer the patient to MPRH. So from the KNH files, the doctor was managing the diagnosis of gastritis. Then reaching MPRH.
Yeah.
The patient was done. They did the CT scan, UECs, and the other baseline investigation. Then, so finally they came up with a diagnosis of meningitis, but they said that the patient could have been on antibiotics when he was in KNH.
Okay.
So we lost the patient. A day after the admission.
So there was wrongful diagnosis, and then in that case, then as a result of that, there was obviously wrong treatment, and we lost somebody as a result of that.
Of course.
From what you understand, is this an issue that is rampant?
Yes, it's an issue that is rampant. You know, what I know is that unless you follow up your patient, that's when you'll get now the right medication. Otherwise, for the layman, they're just suffering.
That's an issue that you bring up, that unless you follow up your own patient, you're not likely to get the proper follow-up from anybody, and you're in it on your own. And that's a big one. It's a big one, and it's a tough one. May we say that we are sorry for the loss of your person, and that it shouldn't have happened. It's very clear. And that if this represents what's happening in other parts, then it's very clear why we are not okay. Thank you for your call this morning. It's our hope that we can continue to loud the trumpet on these things. We won't keep quiet about them until the needle moves. Thank you so much. Let's hear from some other people this morning. Dennis, let's hear from some folks on socials this morning. What are they saying?
On the socials, Brian Rona says, even as we wonder what went wrong, we should all look inward and reflect if we are really upright people. It starts from there. Now, I think when we are deciding on a system, both economic and political, we didn't think through, but rather copy-pasted from the USA system. That is according to Courtroom. And there is here, politicians are a reflection of who we are. That is Courtroom. And John Mureithi, this is now a tiring trend. When will we ever have a stop to this nonsense? And asking people, when are we going to put a stop to this? And Margaret Gadoni, I am tired. lagging Kenya behind. It is so sad. And Mtuflani, he's not okay. I will disengage from some topics in 2026 from the sake of my mental health. Pari Ndolo, we must vote wisely, not emotionally. Choices have consequences, and we are now dealing with ourselves. And D Combo, we're just waiting to see in July if the same people and same parents in campaigning singing Tutam and Singapore. And we have Purity Masharia. Vote all these thugs out, from MCs, MPs, senators, governors, and finally the president. Now Leo says, as a nation, we are not okay, and we desire for change. But that's all with a few shillings and being reminded our community is in government, and be proud of our thief. We forget the shoe is pinching. Release sharp payment data from September, that is Duke who's asking that. No, these may be petty, but I get so arced because pedestrians can't use pathways peacefully, borders trying to kill you, cars parked on the pathways, hawkers have hogged the ways, nowhere to walk. I agree with you, Linda Agola. And Linda Agola says it's pissed off, she's pissed off, and the folks at Mobius have been made redundant after 10 years of existence. Great company is over. See, talking about businesses that keep on going down. And Madly African, watch it too. Tuonge itutoke. We are not okay. Thanks, Ndu, for asking. Can we also ask if I am okay? I am okay. Not 100%, but I thank the Lord. Job Mario. I have been buying books yearly. I have a daughter in grade 6 and son in grade 4. Funny enough, the one in grade 4 now can't use books used previously by the sister. We can never be okay this way. You got that?
Yep.
Yes. And don't get me started on the state of KNH. How has this hospital been brought to its knees by Duale? It's only God who will intervene. Our tiny brains cannot handle this. That is Eslim Bithe. And Tuflani, leo tunatolewa backbench tuseme yote itutoke ndio turudi.
Kabisa.
Sema ikutoke.
Ikutoke kabisa.
It's important that we speak.
It is important because there is sometimes the thought that Kenyans are okay, you're not going to speak up about things, but it seems that you're not. You can be honest about that. We're taking more calls. We'll do that until the top of the hour. Yep. 0732-142-650, 0732-142-651. Is it all bad? If in your existence it is, this is the time to speak about it. Hello, good morning.
You know that gentleman that just said about misdiagnosis?
Yeah.
It is the same thing that happened to my brother.
There we go. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
My name is Joshua. I'm calling from Lugari, Western Kenya.
Yes, Joshua. Tell us what is going on. Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Why?
I'm not okay. My heart is bleeding. The way the oppressor is grouping some governors from Western Kenya to continue oppressing Kenyans. Kenyans are suffering. We can't take it no more. Tandu. I'm really oppressed with the oppressor. And I hope the Kenyans will wake up one day and get rid of this oppressor, whom I cannot name. Thank you.
Thank you. Asante Sana, thank you for your call this morning. That's very clear. Hello, good morning. Talk to us. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
Yes, I'm calling from Voi, Bernard Wanyinyi.
Yes, Bernard.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm not okay. You know why, I just wish I could have a hearing from the president. I advise him. What I should tell him, is to know that he is the father of the nation right now. So whatever he's doing or he does, it should be, say the same to almost everybody or everybody at that. So when you are campaigning, you should not castigate or use a lot of energy castigating your children or your subject because you are the father. That is one. Two, when you start dishing money to some individuals, maybe the youth or something, make sure you have enough to give every youth because they are your children, they are your subject.
Right.
So you don't go home as a father with some sweets and give to 3 out of 5 students, 5 children in your home, and you are the father, the end result will be divisions in the home.
Sure.
So let him know and continue knowing that he is the father of the entire country, Kenya,
and not just a few people.
Not of a few people.
Bernard, thank you for your call this morning. We'd like to hear from some other folks even as we get to the top of it. And you know what? We're saying this morning that it is okay not to be okay, but that we can't keep quiet about it. And so thank you for contributing to this morning. Let's take some other calls today. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Luanda, Bunyore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
what's your name?
My name is Isaac Mbalanya.
Yes, Isaac.
My concern is that as soon as the president leaves the State House, that's when corruption starts.
Okay.
Because when he moves from State House, everybody takes per diem, going for those funny things called government empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
And then those empowerments, the government uses so much money moving around than helping the people themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and myself, you find out that my SHA thing, I'm being told to be paying quarterly.
Yeah.
And then at this particular time, you find that people don't have money. People are just broke in their pockets. And this comes about because of the president himself. Because he could have stayed in State House, the money is being spent roaming around, doing funny harambes and empowerments. He could have decided to stay in State House and account for those amounts of money and put them in health and education. I think it could have helped people a lot.
I hear you. Yeah. I hear you. Definitely, Bernard. Thank you for that. And thank you for contributing to this conversation this morning. And thank you. And keep listening in because it's we shift the needle by not being quiet about some of these issues, Asante. So we'll take some more calls this morning. 0732-142-650, 0732-142-651. It's interesting. And Eric says, you know what? We are not okay, but we allowed ourselves to get into this not okay position. So we have to be the ones to then essentially lift ourselves out of the not okay position, that we also have a role to play here. There are diversionary tactics that come to play so that now you're looking towards Singapore instead of dealing with the issues that you have here. So how about I give you this nice, bright, shiny toy to look at over here, and so we forget the rot that's underfoot. And people are saying, no, we are not okay with that. My goodness, many, many more calls coming in this morning. I will take a few more of those as we get into it. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, please turn down the volume on your radio.
Hello.
Please turn down the volume on your radio, sir.
Yes.
And please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Abdi calling from Moyale.
Yes, Abdi in Moyale. Are you okay?
I'm not okay on the Kenya-Ethiopia border.
Why?
Now, what is hurting Kenya today is the cost of living. And a lot of these things are related to the fuel. Right on the border here.
Yes.
We are getting fuel from across the border in Ethiopia. When a liter of diesel is costing 172, 122. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Abdi.
It is costing 122 across, but in Kenya it is costing almost 200 per liter. That is 280 here, just 170 on the other side. A difference of almost 100 shillings per liter. Now, when even it comes for electricity, our electricity is imported from Moyale coming into Kenya from Ethiopia. Where we are paying 300 per unit here, they are paying less than 100 on the other side. I'm saying, why are they being very unfair to us?
I hear you. Even the cost of doing business, the cost of very necessary things is high. Thank you for lending your voice to this, Abdi. Absolutely important. Thank you for being part of the conversation, and let's continue moving the needle. Asante. We're taking more of your calls. Let's take one more call as we get towards the top of it. And very good morning to you. Hello. Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from as you turn down the volume on your radio.
Thank you. Hello?
Yes, please turn down the volume on your radio, and then please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. This is William.
Yes, William.
I'm calling from Kisumu.
Yes, William. Talk to us. Are you okay?
I'm not okay at all, and I'm not okay.
Why?
I'm not happy with the government, with the current government that are in place at the moment. Now, the problem one, I want to talk about this issue of power.
I'll give you a few seconds to do that, but just tell us some of the issues that you're facing real now.
Now, there is this thing called the last mile. I'll just allow me, I'll mix Kiswahili and English.
It's okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's this thing called the last mile ambapo niliona kama wanatengeneza, walianza kuchimba mashimo.
Yes.
Naona hata shimo zenyewe zinafanya watu wengine mpaka wanavunjika, na naona poles zimewekwa huko na hakuna kitu imefanywa kwa hizo mambo na masima. Another thing, the poles are just there. We don't know when and where, wakati gani ndio watatengeneza hizi mambo na stima.
Okay, so we're looking at an issue where you're giving hope to people, but you're not completing.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the power is on and off all the time. Hata facilities, kama hospitali, they are not. There is no power.
Okay.
And again, no, we are suffering. In fact, if we end up at hospitali, we are suffering. There is no services at all.
Tough stuff, William, and that you're part of the conversation and raising your voice about this is, again, part of it. But thank you for making that call this morning. And let's keep plugging into this conversation. Asante sana.
Asante sana.
So we asked the question this morning, are you okay? And it's clear that many people are not okay. From Moyale to Voi, Luanda to Kakamega. We are going from Kisumu to Kericho. And it would have been interesting if it was just from one place. But this is from around the country. We need to be plugged into this conversation. And I'm going to finish with Eric, who said, you know what? And it's just a repetition that we know the problem, we see the problem, we're not okay, but we have something that we can do about it. Are we doing it? It's 8:01. Thank you for your contributions this morning. It's not just a contribution, it's part of a conversation that must grow until something is done. It's 8:02. Good morning.
It is now 8 a.m. with ICEA Lion. It is time to plan ahead with ICEA Lion. What's your plan?
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
Ubaga. The ODM and UDA parties are now expected to meet and strategize for further cooperation ahead of the 2027 general elections. This follows the decision of the national executive committees of the parties that reached the cooperation after meeting to discuss the political future and especially their cooperation for the elections. The ODM National Executive Committee met in Kilifi County early last week, led by its chairman Oburu Oginga, and reached the decision, while the UDA reached the decision on Wednesday this week after meeting here in Nairobi. This now continues to put members of the two parties at a crossroads who have been criticizing the cooperation. Speaking yesterday at the public meeting in Kibra here in Nairobi, Oburu announced that they have been given official permission to consult with other parties regarding further consultations.
Imekuwa tishio zaidi because ndio inaleta mambo insecurity hapa. Watoto wanakula hii kitu. There is a reason tumekuwa tukisema tujenge shule zetu.
My apologies for that. The dispute over a piece of land between Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi and the Kenya Railways Corporation may now take a new turn after the corporation revealed that Wamatangi has been ignoring several orders to vacate the public land. In a statement, the corporation accused Wamatangi of repeatedly ignoring its orders. It has also dismissed claims that the demolition of the building housing Wamatangi's businesses was politically motivated, stating that it followed the law in its decision. This comes as Governor Wamatangi and several businessmen who had their businesses in the building have accused the government of carrying out the operation without any notice.
We demand answers. We demand answers from none other than Murkomen himself. And we are not mincing words. Today while we are here, we are calling upon the president to sack this man, or he is supposed to resign. Hakuna vile waziri mwenye amepewa jukumu ya kuchunga mali ya umma, yeye ndiye anakuja kuharibu hiyo mali. We are calling upon him to resign. Na kama hata resign, afutwe kazi hiyo. Ama namna gani?
That's the news wire. I'm Lea Ubaga.
.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
SRC's mandate is constitutional. It's not an advice. It's actually something you must do.
Must do. Like now, you abandon, of course, the narrative of Wheelbarrow, Mutomjengo, Mamamboga, and all those, that narrative, that rosy narrative.
Your expenditure is 3.3 trillion, and you're collecting only 2.5. Out of that 2.5, you're spending 1.8 trillion to service loans and so forth.
That the CDF kit, it's in itself a symptom of corruption.
This is the Situation Room. The only way to start your day.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
Presidency is fairly interesting in the sense that it will actually take us to a new consciousness.
Swali zile watu waulizi na swali muuliza na shangala ni aje kwani huku kunaendaje?
30 billion shillings annually on travel alone in public service.
A Kenyan can even demonstrate every single day of his life that Ruto must go. That is the only message of his demonstration. That is his right.
That bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and subverts the cause of those who are in the right.
This is the Situation Room. The only way to start your day. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
It's 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. And we continue our conversations this morning. And we've taken a snapshot of what's happening around. Quite a number of calls coming in this morning and comments across. People are saying, you know what, no, we are not. But I want to challenge us, even as we get into this conversation, that taking that not okayness, and we can come up with new vocabulary this morning, taking that not okayness and activating something as a result of it is what you must do. It is not what you can do, should do. It is what you must do. That you must be so not okay with your not okayness that you do something about it. You can't sit and wallow in it, because a pig wallowing in the mud remains a pig. You cannot stay with your not okayness.
You see, every time there is that book of lamentation that you opened today, right? Where people have opened up their hearts. But guys, remember, that also opens the next book of Revelation.
Right.
On what you need to do.
Absolutely.
So what you do with those two books will determine your okayness.
Absolutely. We can't. And a lot of people, what are the complaints that we've had? They're numerous this morning. People talk about education, health. Health is a big one. And nobody's saying that you can go to a referral hospital and kick out the CEO. Absolutely not. But what you do about your member of parliament who legislates on issues to do with health, where your vote goes, because then you will then vote in a member of parliament who will then legislate on those issues. Who is the person that you're bringing in? Who is the person that you're bringing in positions of leadership? There is a direct correlation between the character of the person that you vote in and the work and policies that they're not or able to do. When we see that, there will be no question about, I'm not going to vote this year because they're going to steal the vote. There will be no question. When we are able to make the direct connection between the things you see and the person who sits in a position to influence those things. My brothers and my sisters, I beg you in the name of God, don't take your civic duty as a joke. That there are things that you can do to turn and move the needle on these matters. Use it. It is your power. It is yours. It's sovereignty. It's vested in you. You don't give it away. You only donate and delegate it. Take it back. Do something with it, and do something with it today. Let us not come back to the place where we still talk about not being okay when you have an opportunity to move the needle. Move the needle, folks. You can also move the needle when it comes to what you're going to do about your future. The folks at ICA Line are waiting for you. They're waiting for you today to go to that website. They're waiting for you to pick up that phone and talk to them about your plans for the future. You don't have to go wait in line anymore, because ICEA Line has digitized a lot of these operations. There's a fun guy on the back of a WhatsApp chatbot called Leo. He'll be able to answer your questions. There's also a strategic tool when you put your end goal into it, and it tells you what you need to do periodically to reach your goal. What's your target? What do you want to do? Do you want to send your children to school abroad? Do you want to make sure that they have a university education wherever it is? Do you want to make sure that you have a nest egg when it comes to your health for the future? What is it? It doesn't matter. What do you want to do? Tell the guys at ICA, and they say, you know what? Let's feed it into our digital tools. So gone are the days when you have to go through the traditional waiting. You can actually do it now. With the tools at ICEA, you can make sure that your future is actually sorted out. No fancy stuff. And even if it needs to get fancy, it's not for the fancy, it's for everybody. And so let's get into that, where we're using these tools to then be able to plan for the future. Whether you have 50, 500 or 5 million, there's something you can do. What's your plan? Ask the folks at ICA. Go to icalion.co.ke. And we promised you that if you shop pay, you win. Forget about this magic where MCAs were disappearing and nobody could find out where they are, where the vehicle went. This one is real magic. Yeah. This one is real magic, because KCB is flashing her magic wand and saying, you know what, guys? Get that KCB card. It could be debit, it could be credit, it could be prepaid. Do the shopping that you need to do. And every time you pay with this card, you get a chance to win. Okay, I'm now speaking Hausa. Yes. That is it. Because there are many things that you can win a week, Monday to Sunday. Is it Monday to Friday? Monday to Sunday.
Yes, Monday to Sunday every day.
You could win 10,000 bob. Then January 1st to January 31st, you could win 100,000 shillings. And then you could go to Zanzibar. You, not only you, they'll even pay for the other person that you want to bring. They will pay for your flight. They will pay for where you will sleep. And they will also pay for you to go to Spice Island, those fun places.
The only thing you carry is your swimsuit and your clothes.
And maybe just an extra shirt, because you know it can be interesting.
True.
You know? But KCB is saying, let's win together because of this winning card. And we can make things happen when you shop with the winning card from KCB. Do the thing. I'm telling you, if you input this formula, you'll be good to go. Because KCB is for people and it is for better. Okay, so here we are this morning. And I'm laughing because our guest is here.
Yeah.
JB Muturi, good morning, and karibu sana.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. See the turbulence of KQ. Fortunately, I normally do my paper rounds just before I sleep.
Yes.
And I'm lucky that I'm on your e-paper.
Yes. You have the e-paper. In fact, there's an ambassador for the standard e-paper because you've seen it already, so you know what's happening. And it's good to see you. We can say Happy New Year, can't we?
Yeah, somebody arguing about how long this salutation should go.
15th, today is the deadline.
Somebody says, one of the people said up to 1st, another group said up to the 5th, another one said
up to 15th. Yet another group said up to 31st, so that thereafter, you start preparing for the Valentine.
Exactly.
Yes. So we are still on Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
It's good to see you. And thank you for being here, because we're going to talk about a number of things today. And oftentimes when we sit and have these conversations and we hear people saying, why are you even bothering to talk about it, do something about it? Well, you need to talk about it so we can unfurl or open up some of these things. And we find that some of the greatest outcomes happen as a result of conversation that was had. So thank you for coming this morning. Dennis has taken us to Algeria this week. Yes, has taken us to Algeria this week. And our proverb, you're a lawyer, so you know how to interpret things.
Yes. So let's go to Algeria, a country whose economy is being pushed by fuel. It's cheaper than water in the country because 90% of Algeria is Sahara Desert. And you just think of it and what they're doing with solving their problem, especially the water issue. They're using their resources to solve their problem. But this is the proverb that the Babas are equally telling us. The only thing left in the valley are its stones. The only thing left in the valley are its stones. What do you think Algerians are telling us this morning?
The only thing left in the valley
are its stones.
Are the stones. Interesting. I haven't interacted with the Babas much, but I suppose it is a challenge to mankind to go the extra mile, so that even if the only thing left in the valley are the stones, you try and see whether you can eke out water or living out of the stones.
Yeah.
They say normally you cannot extract water from a stone.
Normally.
But you can dig out the stones and get water.
Dig out the stones and get out the water.
Well said.
Very well. That's great. We had a conversation in the past hour, JB, and a lot of Kenyans are not okay about a lot of things. So as we start this conversation and get targeted and focused in a particular area, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about some things. And the last time we saw you was during the by-election in Barra North, and you were quite upset, JB. Yeah. You have an opportunity to tell us what upset you so much, to the point where people said, you know what, even JB should be called out for what he did and how he behaved during that by-election and why you were there in the first place. Sort all of that out for us.
Thank you very much, and I must thank you for bringing out that issue, because I haven't had an occasion to discuss it publicly. On polling day, nobody is supposed to be in any party colors.
Yeah.
But everybody is required to display neutrality. And unfortunately, it looks like our election management people are not quite clear or don't seem to understand that once an area has been declared a polling station, whoever is in charge, the presiding officer and their deputies and the others, they actually are supposed to be in charge fully, including controlling security people, giving instructions to the police. The policemen in that place at that time are under the control and command and direction of the IABC officials. But that's not to say that people who are accredited, either as observers or agents or party officials, if they have the accreditation, cannot go there just to see what is happening. So it happened that that day I was at Chicago and voted much earlier, and I go to this place and I find somebody donning UDA colors, and strategically stationed where people were beginning to queue. And many of our agents told me, that guy, we have tried to complain to the presiding officer, he has ignored us. But that fellow is talking to people even as they come in. He's clearly showing that we are doing UDA. And of course, we also are aware that UDA and planned some clandestine things very early in the morning, so that that early morning voting was quite suspect. So for that reason, I spoke to the presiding officer, asked him, why are you allowing this to happen? And while there, then I was told this lady here, another lady, has been bringing everybody. She's the one who is assisting all the voters that are coming in, and all of them are voting for UDA. I say, but why is the presiding officer doing this? The presiding officer looks at me, stood there, just like a zombie. I told him, you are completely, you are abandoning your responsibility.
Okay. So you were upset?
So I was upset, so I decided, no, we must eject this fellow because there's nobody else. So we went and spoke to him. It's somebody I know anyway. The fellow is from Nyeri. It's not even from that place. It's from Udai, actually. An MCA. Just this last Sunday, they were together with the president. So I went and told him, you must get out of this place. You can see even me. Notwithstanding that I'm the leader of the Democratic Party, I am not doing anything that can show I belong to that party. Reason being, campaigns are over. So, well, of course, the UDA supporters who are there, who had been mobilized, began making noise. But I insisted, I stood my ground, and the guy agreed. So we just escorted him out. He was not even roughed, actually, because he even went and got into his car. But as he was getting into his car, some of them were beginning to shout, and because the person who was giving them the cover, the protection, has been edged out. He's been forced out of the station. And so that's why the young men they began making noise, and I told them, no, you will not do it. And I insisted that if you do so, we will also deal with you. Of course, some of them began throwing some queer epithets about me, and naturally I got cross, and I decided that I must throw one of them away.
Okay.
It never quite...
Do you think it would have happened if you were not there, JB? Because what happened as a result of your presence there was that it got ugly. I mean, by your own admission, of course.
Yes.
Did your presence there move anything in the right direction?
Yes. Actually, even the commissioner, Professor Awuor, who came soon thereafter, and we reported the matter to him, and we told him, please talk to your presiding officer and others that they have to exercise, the mandate of their office. And things moved from that time on.
Okay.
Began moving smoothly. Until much later in the evening, of course, I was away checking what was happening in other places. But from the time that I stepped in there and we ejected these fellows out, things started moving smoothly. There were no complaints. So I believe, it's one thing, one can say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. But yes, there's some lyric by somebody called Joylene that says, "Sitosimama maofu yakitendeka akitawala."
But JB, that speaks a lot of an institution that is in charge of presiding over an election, and with whom powers have been donated to them to ensure that election process goes as expected as per the law. But you're saying individuals were reported, but nothing happened. What does that say about the commission?
It shows a commission that is terribly captured, and but we will be addressing some of these issues because, even though they are new in office as commissioners, Some of them are people who have a lot of experience, and they are people we have tremendous respect for. So we think that we should be able to talk to them because they can improve. There's room for improvement, but they must also admit. And I must say this: I have had occasion to interact with a number of election management bodies on this continent, including South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries, as well as countries outside of the continent. And I have advised the IEBC, because they are new, if they want to build confidence, particularly among the electorate, they must deliberately go out and robustly make public whatever it is that they are doing. It is their responsibility under Article 88 of the Constitution to do continuous voter education, telling the voter that these are your rights. But even as they tell the voter about their rights, they must know that Kenyans are quite enlightened. So if they see them bending the rules to favor others, Kenyans are going to point out. And I think I would want to advise the IEBC to take advantage of the provisions in the Political Parties Act that create the provision. Fortunately, I was almost the originator of this provision. We created a body, an organ called the Political Parties Liaison Committee, the PPLC. In fact, in South Africa, the electoral management body, the IEC, even when they are employing presiding officers, they advertise and they invite all political players to attend and tell them, these are the people who have applied, these are the people we have shortlisted. Please, as the players, as the people who are going to be involved in this game, do you suspect any of them?
Okay. So
to be a person of suspicious character.
So what you seem to be trying to say is that because these things seem to be covered up, and you've talked about the possible capture already of the IEBC, that they don't want to have these conversations because somebody is controlling how they operate?
Yeah, I think, of course, given the way they came into office, of course, there had been the arrangements. Parliament had already passed the amendment to begin the process. Of course, there was a noise that came from one side, the Azimio coalition side, which ended up with the NADCO negotiations. And those negotiations agreed that, yes, there is need to borrow some of our Kenyan experience, one of which was the 1997 experience, at which the opposition was allowed to have a say in the selection of the commissioners. And that was, it was meant to give confidence. It's a way of confidence building. Yes. An election management body, being some form of a referee of sort, should be one that enjoys a cross-board trust and confidence, then of course of the larger society, but more particularly of the political players, mainly being the political parties. So the way they came in, they appear to have been, since the formation of the coming into force of this thing, this mongrel called the broad-based government, and I call it deliberately so because one William Kipchirchir Arap Ruto, he referred to the handshake, if you remember when he was deputy president, he referred to the handshake as a mongrel. And today he is in a similar thing, but he says nothing wrong about it. So I want to say, since the advent of this mongrel, that's how the IBC commission was picked. So those who are not in the mongrel arrangement had no say in the appointment of these commissioners. But that notwithstanding, we would still want to give them the benefit of doubt. Please, just understand your mandate and implement it as per the law. Please do not show favoritism as happened in the recent by-elections. And of course, I don't want to speak about it because today is a pre-trial conference in Embu at the High Court of the petition that our people, my people, my party, through this candidate has filed. So I may not be at liberty to discuss that. But suffice to say, we will be demonstrating why we think that the IEBC still has room to improve. And I call upon the IEBC to listen to what everybody is saying in the country. It cannot be that it cannot be that everybody else is wrong and they are right. When you tell them, please, for instance, I spoke to Commissioner Professor Awuor on that day. I told him, please, go and tell your presiding officer that he shouldn't do this and this and this. Are you going to do it? Those are internal matters. What do you mean internal matters? I said, Professor, this is a man I know, and I know he's a man of great integrity. But I could see he seemed to have been under some spell of sorts. They are too scared of William Ruto, the appointing person. So I want to tell them, I want to appeal to these commissioners and the staff, particularly the staff, because they must know that at an appropriate time, we as Kenyans are at liberty to even file private prosecutions against individual commissioners and officers for violations, various transgressions of both the Constitution and the law. Yeah. So please, before we get to that, why not just do the right thing? That's what I've been saying. We don't have to hear every time, just the fear of sanctions. Please, just do the right thing, and we'll be okay.
And you see, JB, as you talk about the right thing, one would say that in the country Kenya, the law appears to be a suggestion for many, especially those in the political class. Why do I say that? You look at today, let's talk about education inequality in the country. And there's a conversation that is ongoing right now. And here we have DCP party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, says, Kila mtu asome kwao. And many have captured that and say, yes, each and every single part of the country deserves to have the great schools in their regions that will make it easy and affordable for parents, for their students to access education. And one asks the question today, when you talk about education as a right enshrined in the Constitution and policies that have been put in place to help implement that, what are we doing in ensuring that education gets to the remotest part in the country so that everyone is equal? Are we just giving education for the sake of it? Is it bora elimu amani elimu bora? Why are we playing with that?
Thank you, Dennis, for that question, because education has always been very, very, very close to my heart. And when I look at the Constitution, for instance, apart from the economic and social rights and Article 43, you go closely, look at Article 53, Clause 1, Paragraph B, with regard to the right of the child. A child shall be entitled to one of the rights, free and compulsory basic education. So any planning about education must begin from that point. Free and compulsory basic education. And you go to
it's the law, yeah.
It is a constitution,
right?
In fact, the supreme law of the land, Article 53, 1B. Now you go to the interpretations, Article 260. Basic education is defined as education from primary through to secondary. It doesn't matter whether we call it junior or senior, whatever baptismal names, but that is basic education. So it is this education which is supposed under the Constitution to be free and compulsory. One, so I've always asked myself, if it is compulsory, it means the parent has no option. The child must be in school. If not, you, the parent, should actually be punished.
Yeah, because it's an obligation.
Because, again, it is supposed to be free.
But sorry, are you supposed to send your child to school if you don't have the wherewithal? I asked this question, and I'm sorry to interject. But look at one of our dailies today. The headline is glaring. 800,000, not 800, not 8,000, not 80,000. 800,000 are still at home. And what are the reasons that are being given for this? Schools demanding payment of fees in full. The slots in terms of transfers where students don't report. Learners traveling to far-flung areas still making the arrangements. Needy students are waiting for bursaries. In this case, do we blame the parents for keeping the children at home?
Because I really appreciate your intervention. If we were practicing responsible democracy, this should have been the kind of headline that would have seen President William Ruto tender his resignation as a president. One, on the 13th of September 2022, at Kasarani, in broad daylight, he sought to defend, uphold, protect, and preserve the Constitution. Yeah? This Constitution is the same one. That Article 53 is in the Bill of Rights, Chapter 4. So it's not a suggestion. It is couched in mandatory terms. Basic education is free and compulsory. Yeah? We have not even been told that anybody has been sanctioned, but who is going to sanction? The person who bears the greatest responsibility in the protection, upholding, preservation, and protection of the Constitution, who saw by the Bible, is a president. If he does not see anything wrong with this, it means that his government is asleep. But no, the guy is so busy, PR stunts all over. Nyota, I don't know what. We are not opposed to even that program. But that is not his work. You can leave that one to MCAs or to chiefs, local chiefs. The president has better things to do than spending days on end dancing. It is giving Nyota, I don't know, checks. And I've seen some kids saying that they have not even received the money since he visited their places. Some of them were in Eldoret. But look, your intervention is so timely. Shouldn't it prick the conscience of the entire nation that out of the 1.1 million students who are supposed to be in school, which is that compulsory and free, are still at home because of not able to. If you have been told that it's because of lack of transport, it's a different thing.
Fees that.
But you don't have school fees.
That the Constitution says shouldn't even be there.
I mean, the Constitution says it's free. So government ought to have budgeted for it. Free. But what did we get? Government even reduced the competition. And you still hear people talk about Duko. You still hear people talking about bursary. My personal position, which is the position of my party, the DP, is that bursary should be abolished.
Completely?
We should never have this thing called bursary because it's an embarrassment, and I've explained in the political meetings, but let me explain it here.
Okay.
It's an embarrassment, and it's a way of reducing both the parent and the child's dignity. When you have to wait, a parent with their child, they are waiting for a member of parliament to come and receive a check, a bursary check. They sit there, they start singing. This child knows that his or her other classmates are in class, but then they have to come and wait for the Mheshimiwa, sing and clap, say poems. Eh? One, what you create in this child is that the parent or parents of this child are incapable.
Where does
that thing can linger
in their minds for
in
years?
their minds forever, and it has the effect of actually, it can affect this child's growth and education.
Yeah.
In a very big way, negatively, about the parent.
Yeah.
But even to the parent, it's a shame.
Of course, it is. And the truth of the matter,
parent who is there, it just feels okay. I have to be here, dance and sing for the Mheshimiwa, because I don't.
1,000 shillings.
So this is why I say no. Why are you having bursary?
But can I ask
the Constitution says it is free.
It is free. But allow me to ask, because then maybe we can get an understanding. You were the third highest in command in the country as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Many a time, members of Parliament would not be in the House because they were off giving bursary checks. So here we are. Member of Parliament gives out bursary. County government gives out bursary. There's a President's Fund for bursary. There's NGCDF with members of Parliament who will still go and promise and say, we're going to give out bursary. So all of these different people are giving out money towards bursary. Where does this money come from? This money that they're handing out, where does it come from?
You see, all this is taxpayers' money.
Okay.
What is the method of identifying the beneficiaries when you spread it like that? In fact, even women representatives,
they give out checks. Yes.
Even MCAs, they also purport to give bursaries. But you see, because there is going to be some criteria which will involve some forms of favoritism, why do we need to continue with bursaries?
Why can't all this money be taken and put in one fund, and then it be put towards education to ensure that these 800,000 people children that we are seeing that are out of school will be in school without a problem? Why can that not be done so that we can actually do at that level what one constituency, maybe two, are doing in the country today, whereby then a nominal fee, and it's just maybe to cover expenses here or there, it's not the core of what you need to do at school, is then covered by whatever, the Member of Parliament, NGCDF, the county. What precludes that from being done? Or is it a tool that members of Parliament, that governors, that MCAs, that the president uses politically to have some kind of influence over the people who receive? And mind you, JB, this money that we're receiving in bursaries, it is nothing. It's 1,000 shillings. It's 3,000 shillings against 45,000 shillings that the school is asking you to bring.
This is just a continuation of patronage politics. So that, every politician will say, I'm the one who gave you bursary. And I've said, first of all, what is the role of a member of Parliament? Generally, as understood, is to represent, to oversight, and to legislate. So it's not the role of members of Parliament to implement any government program. Free basic education is a function, is to be implemented by government, the executive. The Supreme Court decision, I believe on 8th of August 2022, was very clear about the MGCDF. Whether you baptize it, when it was baptized, I was speaker, and I kept telling members, you know what? From the day we adopted the current constitution, 2010, and I remember beginning to argue that when we were still in a version, I was discussing this document. I said, with this, CDF must go, it must give way, because devolution is only two levels, national county. You cannot have members of parliament. And in fact, in that Supreme Court decision, the judges very, very well eloquently argued that the problem is in the constitution we have a clear separation of powers. Implementation of government programs is a function of the national executive or the executive structures in the counties. It is never the function of any form of legislature. So the fact that CDF may have done things, and indeed we know it has done wonders in some places. But nevertheless, if we are going to really restore and be people faithful to constitutionalism, we must, CDF or NGCDF must give way to proper devolution. Then strengthen oversight. So that you members of parliament or members of the county assemblies, you become sharper in ensuring that what government is supposed to do is done. And when governments don't function, you throw them out. The constitution has given the mechanism. So members of parliament cannot argue. And it doesn't matter whether you belong to the party of the government. Because if government is not delivering, if you belong to that party, remember, the electorate will also send you home because where were you? So this is taxpayers' money. We don't want to hear about NCDF. In fact, before the late former Prime Minister even joined the fray, I am one of the first people to say, and I've always said it, NGCDF does not sit constitutionally well, and it is actually futile for members of parliament through William Ruto. Because I remember I was AG when he was writing that letter to Parliament and of course giving some juice to Senate, giving them Senate Oversight Fund so that they can amend the Constitution. But what is this Senate Oversight Fund? If Senate is part of the learning with all facilities, laboratories and libraries, well equipped. And you can imagine if there's just 58 billion, just one financial year. Can you imagine? In 2 financial years. It's just impossible. So it's just a matter of planning. It's national government leadership, which is lacking. And remember on these shows, I've always said, actually the problem is that fish rot
from the top.
From the top. So this blame should squarely be placed on the foot of one William Kipchirchir Ruto.
JB, you are the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and you state that you have always had your position on NGCDF, that it shouldn't be there, does not sit well with the Constitution. You are the principal advisor to government. President William Ruto received advice from you, and one would ask if this is the position, this is what the Constitution says, policies that are in place. Does the president listen to advice? Does he pick the advice, or is it his way or the highway? Because one would assume that with your position and understanding the law and being the principal advisor, these are things you presented to him, even at the time when he was writing that letter to senators and giving all those funds. You are the principal advisor. Does he listen to advice? And if that is the case, if he does not listen to advice, is there any hope that the law will finally be followed?
Well, fortunately, because William Ruto at that time, he was very keen to secure the numbers in the House, and it's something we had discussed even much earlier. And I kept saying that remember, I'd been the Speaker, so I'd always been very, very forthright about that, even with the former president, that this thing does not sit well. It is good, and the courts have already said it. Why don't we just bite the bullet, scrub it? Oh no, we need support of members of parliament, whatever it is that we are doing. So William Ruto knew very well, if he let me be the one to deal with the issue of advising on NGCDF, and already said even to try and give Senate this so-called oversight fund is still irregular. But because, William Ruto is a populist and he likes the drama, he is a guy of theater. He will want something that is good to, he likes applause as opposed to performance, and you need to deliver to the people. William Ruto knew that the way to make it juicy is entrench NGCDF in the constitution, create Senate oversight so that Senate does not oppose. I hope senators, but I've had some of them saying we could see this, we saw this trick, Kitambo. Then say that there's even going to be a want development fund so that when the document, the Constitutional Amendment Bill goes to the wants, they also don't oppose it. Surely, we do not fix administrative problems by amending the Constitution. Just go to what the Constitution is saying. And the Supreme Court has already declared this thing cannot sit well. So even if actually this amendment were to go through, which I believe will not go through, it still would be amenable to challenge, legal challenge in the courts on the basis of violating the principle of separation of powers. Because you are still putting legislators, because even those ones in the county assembly, they perform legislative work. So are the National Assembly members and those in the Senate. Why are you giving them executive functions of implementing projects, building schools, building offices for administrators, chiefs, and others, building police stations? Surely, is that the work of a member of parliament? A member of parliament should be in the house all the time, representing their people, saying, in this place, we need a police station. And be there to ensure that when budgets are being read, there is money to do those things. So, and when they are not being done, be there to question. But instead, what we are seeing is we have compromised members by giving them the role to go and you have had the president say, but you people are the ones who pass the budget. Put money, go and do the police station. I mean, surely, what kind of governance structure is this that we are trying to create for ourselves?
The argument is being put forth that if some of the unfurling of the kind of confusion that is happening at the moment would be done, then half of the country's problems would be solved. That if you actually say, you know what, follow the law, do what the law says, fill your specific role, do what you're supposed to do, just the example that you've given now about members of parliament. If the executive did what it was supposed to do, if the legislature did what it was supposed to do, if the judiciary does what it's supposed to do, half of the problems that we see today would, if the rule of law was followed, that half of the problems would be sorted out today. This education thing would not be a sore thumb matter. Do you subscribe to that notion?
Yes, it did. It did, largely. Because it's just a matter of planning. Because you'll know that you have so many kids in all levels of basic education. Yeah? Just come at budget. Please, of course, avoid the issue of ghosts. William Ruto is also now. Now we have ghost students, ghost schools, ghost hospitals now, or medical or healthcare facilities.
Even now we have ghost MCAs.
Ghost MCAs.
I thought I'd throw that into the ring.
Now you see, this is the problem, and then is the question you are asking about advice. You can only do that so much. William Ruto would want to advise you on how to advise him. Yeah. When he realized that I could not do that, I would not write that thing because it was unconstitutional. And that's my firm belief. Because if the Supreme Court has ruled and decreed that this thing is unconstitutional, and as long as your intention is to put it at the operation of members of parliament, you're still going to be in breach of that court interpretation. So why would you want to get engaged in this? And when you advise somebody, say, no, this is wrong. Then they don't listen. The problems we have in this country is not lack of programs and things like those or ideas. If we just, what is required is actually a reset, a governance reset, where everybody is bound by the national values which are there in Article 10. No?
And now they're not?
They're not there. No, but
I'm saying nobody's bound by them right now. Nobody's bound. The people who are in positions whereby this influence can be seen and or practiced, we're essentially saying that they're not bound by these national values. They all hold up the Constitution.
Respect for human rights.
What do people hold up when they come in as members of parliament?
The same Constitution.
Is it not the Constitution?
Same Constitution.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering what book that is.
Respect for human rights.
Right.
Yeah. Rule of law. The courts have said, please put on hold these things you're talking about. I don't know, some grandiose thing, because we just look for ways of areas of looting. Now we are talking about the national infrastructure fund, just a better way. And remember, just recently, maybe you people in the media have not noticed this. Remember, in November, Parliament passed a very draconian law called the GOE, Government-Owned Enterprises Act, which the CS National Treasury gazetted for execution, date of implementation from the 5th of December. Under that act, many of the targeted parastatals, there are laws, they're establishing laws. KPA Act, Kenya Railways Act, Kenya Airports Authority Act, they have all been repealed. And those bodies are being told now to form themselves into limited liability companies with a maximum of 9 directors each, whose directors are appointed, many of them, I think about 8 of them, by the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury. There, of course, read William Ruto, and the CS of relevant ministries. Now, those companies own so much property that belongs to the people of Kenya. Now, you are removing it from parliamentary oversight. You are removing it from parliamentary oversight, from oversight by the Auditor General, so that anything they do will be the decision of the Board of Directors. Surely, Kenya Railways, Kenya Airports Authority, Kenya Ports Authority, Agricultural Development Corporation, which owns tracts and tracts of land, whose value, at some point, I think in 2024, was in excess of 217 billion, is being put up at a valuation of 500 million, 300 million to 500 million.
And this is the problem.
You look at what were members of parliament doing? Was there under some anesthesia of sorts?
Yes, and this is my question, because there's 290 of them, isn't it?
349.
But then now we add the women reps. And woman reps and all of these, and then it comes to nominated, there's some 12 more.
349.
And then we come to 349 people. 349 people, have they been drugged? What they have is that they have donated power from people to go and ensure that the best interests of people, communities, are then being followed through. You can't tell me that the sale or forfeiture of huge tracts of land or the ensuring of money that doesn't go towards development is passed every time in Parliament, and you then think that Kenyans think these people are normal. It's not normal, JB, it's abnormal. And so the question that people are asking today, whether you're here sitting talking about education, and we hope that as we go into the next hour, you'll stay on for us to talk about some more things, going into the politics of it now. And we're saying that people talked to us between 7 and 8. People are not okay. And that's the nitty-gritty of it. We can talk about the large industrial parks. We can talk about the large tracts of land. We can talk about the hundreds of billions of shillings that are being spent on projects that Kenyans never actually see. There are pictures that have come in on the papers from last week of dead animals strewn in land. And that's people's livestock. And we have a disaster management authority who has not been given the keys to activate so that these people's livelihoods can be secured. But there's money for other things. It's a shame that you see the headlines of 800,000 children at home. It is actually a shame. It is not chagrin. It is not alarm. It is shame, because that's the picture. We always say that the true picture of a country is what its most vulnerable look like. That's the picture. It's not bridges and roads and concrete. That's the picture. And so the hope that Kenyans are putting in people today is to say, please, don't promise us anymore. Just implement.
Absolutely. That is my point. We cannot, every now and then, all we want is applause. We say that we come to talk about this, Singapore, Makofi. In fact, I heard something very, very reckless by some member of parliament who told William Ruto, actually go and sell everything and build as a road. I said, what? We are talking about borrowing money to do, I don't know, convention center in Bomas, do Atalanta Stadium. But what is the reality of what you're getting now? 800,000 plus students
at home
who are supposed to be enjoying free and compulsory basic education at home because they can't afford to go to school. Their parents can't afford to.
We're going round to 9 o'clock. I'd like us
to. Of course, we want to talk about building a stadium, and we want people applauding us. We are going to do another one. I don't know. We're going to Thika, Makofi, Wapi. Surely, as you rightly said, 800,000 children, the future of this country. We are willing to let that be business as usual, but we want to be applauded that we are giving out there Nyota, I don't know, we are building this stadium, we are building this conference center, we are doing this road. Surely, who is going to play in those stadia when 800,000 kids are not able to go to school?
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Let's look for solutions, JB. We'll come into the next hour. We'll also be joined by Dr. Harun Isaac Hassan. He'll join us because we can have this, but we must also look then towards what are the solutions. Is it just in leadership or is it across board? It's 9:01. Justin Bidan Muturi is here with us, and we'll be joined by governance expert. We'll be talking about power, the politics, and also moving to the region just a little bit as well. As Uganda goes to the polls, we'll be back with this conversation on the Situation Room in a bit. Don't go away.
It is now 9 a.m. with ICEA Lion. Insurance and investment made simple for people like you, courtesy of ICEA Lion.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
Why, I'm Lau Ubaga. The Makueni County government has launched investigations following allegations of corruption and mismanagement at the Kalamba Mango factory. County Executive Minister of Agriculture Elizabeth Millie says the probe will establish how funds have been misused since the start of the current mango season. She added that a special committee led by Chief Agricultural Officer Japheth Kiminza has been formed to investigate the farmers' complaints.
We have heard the cry of our farmers. We have received a lot of feedback on what is going on and the processes around Kalamba. And as the CEC today, I have established a team led by the CEO Agriculture to ensure that we validate and verify every record of mangoes that was delivered at Kalamba to ensure that every farmer that is going to benefit from that project and program is from Makueni County. It is only from that verification that we will be able to pay the farmers that are eligible to benefit from that.
Lugari MP Nabena Bwera has urged leaders from the Western region to focus on building more schools instead of criticizing remarks by some Mount Kenya leaders opposing the admission of students from other regions to national schools in their area. Speaking at St. Cecilia Girls High School in Lugari, Kakamega County, Nyamweya backed the Mount Kenya leaders, saying leaders must take responsibility by investing in school infrastructure within their own regions.
There is a reason tumekuwa tukisema tujenge shule zetu. Mlisikia vile Kashabu alisema, mkasikia vile Ichung'wa alisema, mkasikia vile mbunge wa Katundu South Gigi Kagombe alisema. In fact, he was very proud. Alisema Monday, and that explains why sisi as a community we must put more money in developing our own schools, ili watoto wetu wasibaguliwe. By the way, looking at it, nimesema wametusaidia kuona mbele. We should not condemn them. We should pick a lesson.
And police in Mutwapa, Kilifi County have launched a crackdown on illegal liquor in Migombani, seizing 1,200 litres and arresting 3 suspects. Kilifi South Police Commander Hassan Kochale told Radio Maisha the operation will continue in line with the recent directive by President William Ruto and warned those involved in the illegal trade.
Mimi niko mstari ya mbele kuhakikisha hii pombe tumeimaliza. Hata unajua wiki tu, kwa sababu ni binadamu anatengeneza, tutafuata mpaka mahali wanapeleka wanatengenezea. Tutafuata kila wakati. Mimi askari yangu tangu amri ya president itoke, OCS na maaskari yake hakuna siku watakaa chini, watakuwa wanaenda kila kijiji wakitafuta, kwa sababu ni kitu hata kunanusia mbali. Na wa chiefs tunaomba wabalozi tusaidiane tumalize hii pombe.
Kochale also cautioned bar owners to observe legal operating hours and urged the Kilifi County government to stop issuing licenses to bars, linking rising crime in Mutwapa to alcohol abuse and Mugoka.
Kitu kama Mugoka ndio imekuwa tishio zaidi, because ndio inaleta mambo insecurity hapa. Watoto wanakula hii kitu throughout kuanzia saa 3. Haina timings, sio kama pombe ambayo tunajaribu control timings ya mabaa. Alafu unakuta a small bar, tunataka kusaidiana na county government. A small bar wanapea a night club. A small wine and spirits wanapea a night club. Hata kama ni revenue tunaokota. Let us see how this in the effect it has to our children.
That's the news wire. I'm Lea Ubaga.
.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on Spice FM.
We look at the utterances of leaders who are aligned to broad-based, who are initially in ODM. We thought they stand for something. Now they've been exposed.
Because we are a third world country, we are poor. And not because we don't have resources, but we have been robbed senseless.
Look at the wasteful expenditure. Look at how large government lives. And we've said this is something that can be controlled. It happens in many other countries.
Internally, we used to stand and tell you, boss, hii kitu ni mbaya. And you'd say, now he doesn't let me tell you. You saw the other parliamentary group meeting. People went there, sat, listened, looked at him. There was no plenary, left.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
It's now 7 minutes after 9 o'clock and into the final hour of Kenya's biggest conversation this Thursday. It's the 15th. It is Justice Thursday. We're looking at quite a number of issues today and getting into more of them this hour, because then we're going to spread a little bit wider, necessary for us to continue getting into those. When I remind you that You don't need to worry about the future. What you need to do right now is act. That we can sit and have those thoughts whereby, you know what you feed actually grows. So if you're going to feed fear, then perhaps you're going to be nervous a little bit longer. But if you can actually put action into the thing and talk to the folks at ICEA Lion today and say, look, this is what I want to do in the next 10 years. This is what I want to do by the end of 20. And they're going to give you the answers, or at least the direction that you need. So let's take fear, crumple it up and toss it into the bin and actually take action and move a little bit forward in terms of what our future plans are going to look like. Sarah, talk to the folks at icealion.co.ke and do it today. And then reach into your wallet or into your pocket and fish out your KCB winning card. It's a prepaid card, it's a credit card, it's a debit card. And what can you do with it besides just pay is that you can win. You can win, my friends. You can win 10,000 shillings a week. You can win 100,000 shillings a month. You can win this fantastic getaway to Zanzibar, you and your plus one, where you, and don't worry, yes, it can be you and it can be a boys trip, it can be a girls trip, it can be the other trip. Hey, it doesn't really matter. But at this point, what we're saying is that you activate this by using your KCB card, because every time you pay, you get a chance to enter into a place where you can win. It's one of the only places whereby you pay and you win something as well. On this trip, all your things are paid for. Your flight, your accommodations, and also these exciting excursions. How do we do it? We use our KCB card. Cindy, we're going to use those, isn't it? Whether you do your shopping, whether you're paying for lunch, whether you're buying fuel, whatever it is that you're doing, every time you pay, there is a chance to win. It's the only card that gives you an opportunity to spend and a chance to win. So let's activate that today. Donge? Yes. All right. We're doing that today, and we're continuing our conversation this morning. And we're going to widen it just a little bit. Justin Bida Maturi, former national Speaker of the National Assembly, as well as the former AG, also today as the DP party leader, has been here. We've been talking about some painful things. It's been necessary for us to do, but we're going to take a knife to this thing because if we don't, we're probably going to get ourselves in bigger trouble. We're going to widen that conversation a little bit this hour, and joining us in the hot seat of the Situation Room this morning is governance and leadership expert. We're going to use that this morning. Dr. Harun Isaac Hassan is here with us this morning as well. A happy New Year to you, Doc.
Happy New Year.
How are you doing?
Not bad. We're doing very well.
Good.
Myself, I'm doing very well because I'm healthy and I've woken up and I can run up and about, do things and get myself from point A to point B. But generally, we are not doing very well from the perspective of how our communities are struggling with drought. Particularly, I come from Mandera, and the most hit part is Mandera West, which sometimes back I fought for that seat in 2022 to represent those people. People have lost all their animals.
Yes.
People have no basic services. Just drinking water is a nightmare. It comes from 250 kilometers.
And if it's salty, clean, if it's clean,
it is not clean.
Yes.
It is definitely not a clean water, because water is not usually good to be transported, because contamination takes place when you are handling it. The other thing that is very crucial for us at the moment is that we have very lavish leaders who enjoy festives, weddings, and other meetings in Nairobi, eating a lot of good things, and also disposing of the remains of foods that they have enjoyed, and yet the people whom they represent have nothing, barely nothing to feed on.
It's interesting that you say that. We're going to come into that because they seem to think that they don't live in Nairobi. But, we'll come to that in just a bit. But the interesting things that we must talk about today. Before we do that, Dennis wants to share today's proverb. JB's had a go at it. We'd love for you to do the same.
So we're in Algeria, the continent's largest country by land, and 10th globally. Rich with oil, they export the same. Water is expensive than fuel in Algeria. But let's go to the proverb. The only thing left in the valley are its stones. The only thing left in the valley are its stones. What do you think Algerians are saying?
The only thing left in the valley is a stone. I think everything is being minted by others, and the people are left with nothing.
Tumekula tukamaliza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think tumekula tukamaliza.
It sets the clearly sets the tone, because here you are, and we've come off a couple of hours this morning where Kenyans from different parts of the country had said earlier that they're not okay. And they've given different reasons. And I thought it was interesting that everyone who said they're not okay has a different reason as to why. Some of them are similar, but they're different in terms of the experience that they bear. And we've come into the second hour where we talked a little bit about education and the discrepancy that we see for something that's supposed to be an equalizer. Clearly it is not. And of course, all we have to do is look through the pages. You talk about animals, dead animals strewn in different parts of the country because of the not impending, the drought that is here and what we're suffering from. And it seems as though we're still playing politics with the livelihoods of Kenyans at this point. And folks are asking for votes based on empty promises. What's your take on what we see at the moment and what should be the way forward?
I think we are in crisis. Crisis usually is defined in a situation where everything does not work normal. For example, my own daughter was admitted to a boys' day school in Kitui.
I beg your pardon?
My own daughter, when we talk about issues of education, my own daughter was admitted to a day boys' school in Kitui.
Okay.
It's a very sad thing. So when we listen to some of the things or the outcry of the Kenyans, I think it is real. It's something that needs to be looked into. But I want to come to your question in terms of what is the way forward. I think there are two perspectives of life. One, the making and those who make people. I think I believe that much of a crisis that we are having is made by ourselves. We Kenyans are never thought of the consequences of our own actions. We often think through a tribal line. We often think through a political party. We often think through people who are in a position to give us handouts. I recently told some of our people, if you want to go and campaign and you must be paid, the voters must be paid for them to vote you in, I think you have no any responsibility to go and do anything for them, because it becomes business whereby you have used your hard-earned money to go and buy the votes, and then you come and represent, and then the people you are representing have the guts to ask you that you are not doing the right thing. So I think the bottom line is that the main problem of our crisis, where we see leaders who have no clue of the ground or who have no clue of the people they represent, and who do not even feel ashamed of boasting what they are doing in big cities, and that their people are dying, and yet tomorrow they will go into model themselves to go and ask for votes, promising people heaven, and yet the people themselves will go into ask for money. I tend to think there's that clear disconnect from the ground, and we must think differently in terms of assembling our leaders.
JB, do Kenyans share in that responsibility? Like is rightfully said, it is us who donate our power to the people in these offices. It is Kenyans who wake up early in the morning to queue, and it is the very same Kenyans who do not ask the difficult questions on how an individual getting to office will come to change the situation. But then again, remember that Mwananchi will vote based off the promises with the hope that the individuals they vote for get to these offices and change. Do Kenyans share in the responsibility where they find themselves today, in the sense that even today, still we see Kenyans want change, but whenever an opportunity comes in, they're the ones who take loot and go fight off the other Kenyans, like what we saw during the by-elections. Do we as Kenyans share in the responsibility, and that if Kenya is to change, we all must make a deliberate decision to change together. It is not just the politicians, but we as Kenyans as well.
You know, when Kenyans struggled for so many years to come up with a new constitutional order, one would have expected or imagined that everybody has and was sufficiently well, informed about their responsibilities and obligations. And I want to agree, in a sense, that we haven't quite educated the citizenry. We keep talking about, sovereignty belonging to the people. But do the people actually know? When we talk about sovereignty belonging to the people, because that responsibility, as I said earlier on, is placed squarely on the IEBC and Article 88 to continue, continuous voter education. It is not on who to vote for, but these rights, obligations of the citizen. Because if you put garbage in, you obviously will expect garbage out. It's no wonder you've heard Dr. Hassan talk about what happens in various places, some places. Now, you will hear, and I've heard it actually said by none other than President Ruto, that mtakuja kila mtu akuja aonyeshe ile amefanya. Nilisema maji, nilisema nini. But those of us who are outside government, yeah? So are we supposed to come and say that we build also roads? Are we supposed to be saying that we build schools? The responsibility is on the government. But you see, at the end of the day, the citizen must be aware, must be made aware, knowledgeable, that actually free compulsory education is not a favor from government.
Okay, but then do what with it? Sorry, JB, because I'm going to take that and link that to something that Dr. Hassan said earlier. Northeastern leaders, governors, members of parliament came out in furor the other day and said, no, in fact, we don't live in Nairobi. I don't know how that was the argument. But for the last, since 2023, that's what, 13 years now? I beg it's since 2013, there has been money to the tune of almost 300 billion shillings that has gone to this area, where people have sat and voted in members of parliament, governors, senators, like everybody else in the country. So if you link it to Dennis's question, who has a problem here? Whereby we come and we complain about a road, we complain. There's a member of parliament who you don't see in Mandera. You don't see this person until somebody is going to hitch a chopper ride to Mandera for a couple of hours, and then they're going to disappear after that. That is the truth of the situation. It's not being tribal, it's not being marginalistic, it's the truth. That people don't see the members of parliament. But for some reason, it's the hallowed member of parliament. And then when they do see him or her, they are worshipping them. Again, surely somebody must be drunk on something if you don't have a road, but you vote the same person in over and over again. There's money that has been gone, but you cannot, even if you looked, you cannot find a school that has been erected in the last 13 years. There is no water. 250 kilometers. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Looking for water to drink. We can't. It is 2026. Devolution came in 2013. There have been a rollout of individuals. These ones who are coming to make promises. These ones who go to Kamkunji. These ones who go to Nyayo Stadium, stand on vehicles, chop a ride all over the country. Come and do a press conference in media center in Parliament. Come on.
You're right. Absolutely right. And in fact, to add insult to injury, 13 years since revolution. Functions, water and sanitation is a devolved function. Health over 95% is supposed to be devolved. Agriculture, devolved. Housing, devolved. And several others. It's in the Constitution. But what do we see? You know, we want to blame everybody. We want to also blame the people, the public. But also, look at what is happening. I see the Council of Governors, when they sit at summit, at State House, some summit meetings chaired by the President, all of them are begging the President, do this road for us. I don't know, from Kutulo, from where, I don't know. You know, you go to beg to be given what rightfully belongs to you. We don't want to, we want, there is no medicine in hospitals, they go to beg. So, yes, there's a problem. The public, the citizen, needs a lot of education. But also, leaders have a duty to be honest. You are elected to perform, to do a particular job and a particular function. You don't do it.
Okay.
And what we have said, just to finish, I want to confirm. I want to confirm, because allegations would be made before me in the House that this member of parliament last stepped in their constituency 3 months ago.
And you give them, and you approve money. Mileage money.
I don't know. Every week they claim mileage. But you touch that, you tell people, go to reports. This body called the EACC. They have those reports. But they don't act. They don't act. They have those reports. What else are you supposed to do? That's what I'm saying. The solution is really, one, an empowered public, on civic duties and obligations, and rights.
Okay. I'm curious as to what that would look like, and maybe you can jump in here, Doctor, because you know what? Kenyans have come out to educate each other. There's a lady called Rose who came up with a website. She wanted to just, encourage and advise people. She was followed and arrested. She came here, told us how at some point she was to be rearrested because she was sharing what should be public information. What actually members of parliament, other people in that space should be able to tell you guys, this is what the law says. This is what we should actually do. People who putting the finance bill into different languages were threatened, followed at night. This happened. And we are saying that people need to be more informed about these functions so that when somebody says, I'll build you a road, we can actually say, no, chap. We know that that's not your job, but we know that you should actually go and legislate to release the funding that will allow that to happen. Where is the disconnect?
Yeah, I think before I go to the disconnect, there's one important thing that JB has mentioned, which is the fact that we have leaders who have been elected, who come here to represent people in northern Kenya, who have been, by virtue of their right, got funding from exchequer's money. An example is Mandera County. For the past 13 years, Mandera County got 198 billion. 198 billion is not just a figure. And we expected, with even that is from the exchequer's money that is designed for them to get the allocation they usually get. But there is also the equalization fund. There are also development projects from World Bank and other departments. Today, as we speak, we were much better before devolution began.
Okay.
Why do I say that? We have sent resources down there, which was okay. We have no problem with that. But we have empowered other people who are ill-advised to come and build other places. People have skyscrapers in Nairobi and in Dubai. Yet the people they represent and the money that was sent to go and serve those people have not benefited those people intended for.
Can I ask
I
a
think
question?
it is something critical
Yeah.
that we should know. Let me give you another shocking story. You will find a leader, for example, a governor goes to Mandera, he stays in a guest house and returns to Nairobi after a week. And he only goes there when the funds have been released. What does he do? To go and allocate and remove those monies to the channels that they have already planned for. You can imagine government systems operate in a manner that they are accounting officers. The chief officers, they were like the way PSS in the national government are the accounting officers. Here, the accounting officers become the governors. They are the ones to sign on the Ministry of Education vouchers, Ministry of Agriculture vouchers, Ministry of Health. And why? They don't want anyone to see their own employees, the people who have, by virtue of their position, given the right to execute that duty. They have denied them, and they are the ones who do it. Imagine a governor sitting in an office until in the morning. He sits from morning until morning the following day, the whole night. They are trying to look at vouchers and see how money will be traveled from one place to another. It is crisis. Then the shocking story is that when they are living here and to go and see the people on the ground, they go with their own aircraft, they carry their own water, they carry their own food.
They know.
Yes.
Okay, allow me to ask this question just for clarity. You said 198 billion shillings is the money that has been given to Mandera over what period of time?
13 years.
Over 13 years, 198 billion. It might surprise you to know that with just 2.4 billion shillings, the water supply and sewage project for Mandera town, the entire town of 230 kilometers pipeline treatment plant can be finished. 2.4 billion shillings.
Actually less than that, because the water is not even far.
All right. 8.6 billion shillings. And if we just say 8.6, we have not even finished 10 billion. 8.6 billion shilling, a master plan for expanding water access and sanitation networks in Takaba and beyond can actually be finished. Finished.
Completely, yeah.
Okay.
Let me just add for you before you go very far. There is actually free flow of water coming from the highlands of Ethiopia, passes through Takaba up to Indian Ocean. Every season. And every season people die there because water collects them, their animals, and people are even killed. We are able to harvest that water with only 1.5 billion, and our problem is solved. Takaba is a farming land.
Okay.
Now it is a desert. If Takaba would have had a major dam, we would have changed the livelihood of all the people living in that constituency and beyond.
And that's just water?
That's just water.
If we went to roads and connectivity, because that's another pain point where people are saying roads terrible, we can't go from farm to market even if you can farm, we would have paved arterial and rural feeder roads linking all sub-counties in all. Okay? We would build all-weather market access roads. We would construct bridges across seasonal rivers. This one that you're talking about that carries away people and farmlands. You would lower transportation costs. You can better security access and investment attraction. Let's go to health and education. Are you feeling a bit irritated? Okay, let's do this now.
Very.
You would build and equip hospitals and health centers across. You would build, not just put equipment. You can build new health centers with this money in Mandera. You would recruit and retain doctors and specialists. You would construct new secondary school. We've been crying. That's when is the last time schools have been built in the country? There have been pictures of no schools in northeastern Kenya where people have been crying about marginalization, but there are governors, there are senators, there are members of parliament who can legislate for these things and actually do these things. They've not been done. With 198 billion shillings, you would have built 5 to 10 modern hospitals. You would have constructed dozens of schools. You would have funded scholarships for thousands of students and put them in school. This is the reality, and it has not been done. So Kenyans are now asking, of the people who have been elected, they are not doing this. It seems like a no-brainer that you would then say, excuse me, you lot, get out, and put in the people who would actually do this, because it's not a money issue. We have cleared here actually that the problem here is not a funding issue. It's not completely
funding issue, no. Let me just add for you one thing. You have actually said it as it is. And the problem is not with the government. To be sincere with you, Northern Kenya people are getting enough. You cannot account for what you have been given. You cannot demand for more. That is the rule. of any service provider. You are given something, you account for that, and then you get something, and you identify your gap on that line. If you fail to do that, then means then you cannot be trusted with anything. And we shouldn't be actually pumping resources into northern Kenya when we already know that people are not gaining the benefit that they were expected to. So one thing that I just wanted to say is, and that will going to shock you, is that you realize that there are projects which were begun by the previous governors. These are projects probably would have benefited the community because it was the excitement of the county government where governors wanted to do at least something to show themselves that they are indeed in control of the governance of that area. Those projects, because the previous governor took his 10%.
What do you mean his 10%?
Every project
he took his loot.
He has taken his loot. The current government will not want to entertain the same project. He will want to start a new project that does not even make sense. And you ask him, why do you want to build a TVET? For example, we have TVETs in Takaba. We have spent over maybe 500 million on that TVET, construction and equipping it. We don't have a single student. We don't have electricity to functionalize the equipments that will have been used for training. You want to train people on welding. You want to train people on electricity. You don't have electricity. I don't understand that craziness where it has come from. Yet. Then we have those places. He will come, and now he will construct another TVET in the neighboring sub-county, Barasa, and say, we need also a TVET here. Then you ask him, who will going to use this TVET? He will going to spend 500 million. Now, the catch there is, he will spend 100 million, and the other 400 million, you don't know where it has gone.
You see, we talk about JB matters to do with funding. We have just established that our problem as a country is not a funding problem. It is on expenditure. Because here we're talking about what 198 billion shillings would do. And one would just ask the question, if you walk inside Mandera County, one would want to see where 198 billion shillings is. What has it done in Mandera County? And it's nada. It is zero. And that is the story from one county to the other. It is the story from one constituency through NGCDF to the other. Auditor General speaks every day and gives her reports. We have EACC, we have DCI, investigative agencies.